Welcome into the Lipscomb Soccer Complex in Nashville, Tennessee. I am Brian Engel alongside Jaleel Anibaba, and tonight we have the ASUN men's soccer semifinals. This is site number 2. We have another conference game going on down in Central Arkansas, but tonight on the field here we have Florida Gulf Coast University playing the host Lipscomb Bisons, and this is a rematch, Jaleel, of a match just a couple weeks ago where Lipscomb enters this game having one loss in conference play. And it was to this Florida Gulf Coast team, 1-0 down in Florida Gulf Coast. So I know the coaching staff players for Lipscomb are excited about the chance for a little bit of revenge here on their home pitch tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This game is going to be about redemption for Lipscomb, and it's going to be about continued form for FGCU. Everybody knows what's at stake for tonight's game. Everything is out there to be played for. It's about moving on in this ASUN conference matchup.
And speaking of moving on, that's exactly what the Eagles did just 2 nights ago right here on this field, taking down North Florida by the score of 4-0. So pretty outstanding performance by the Eagles, advanced them to tonight. And as you said, everything is on the line here. Semifinal game, the winner will advance into Saturday's ASUN Conference Championship for a automatic bid and qualifier into the NCAA tournament. As we look to get started tonight, Lipscomb's going to be in their all-white uniforms. Michael Sibley in the back in goal in his all-pink. So Sibley in the back. The defenders, Will Turner, Nick Dang, Louis Robinson, Noah Golden. And as you move up into the midfield, Luca Nauman, Adam McAleenan. And then continuing to move up front, Ali Lopez, out wide Malachi Jones, Hayes Wood, and Dahlman up top for Lipscomb rounds out their starting 11. Florida Gulf Coast in all blues as they take the field. Keeper in orange in the back, and the keeper in the back is Wyatt Kistner. And we'll get more into their starting lineups just as we proceed here just in the beginning of play as Florida Gulf Coast initially has possession and control on the far side from where we are, and Lipscomb's defense, which has been solid all year, immediately takes over and sends it back to Sibley, who will look to control from the back and send things up.
And in a game like this, you're always monitoring how the early moments go, because as nerves get worked out, as that kind of intense energy settles down a little bit, we'll be able to see who is able to control this match. But it's always going to be tense in these first couple of minutes.
Yeah, each team trying to figure out a little bit of a chess match, how you're going to come out and respond. I know talking to one of Lipscomb's assistants even not long ago, as at the top of the 18, Lipscomb actually slides in, and a great shot on goal opportunity right there by the Bisons. Just is blocked. So real quick within the first minute, Lipscomb looking to slide through, and a shot by the Bisons was actually stopped, which could have given them a 1-0 lead real quick right there by Malachi Jones.
Certainly, and that's how quickly they can turn transition moments into very, very good attacks on goal. Kistner's up for the challenge there, but Malachi Jones gets slipped in a very dangerous opportunity, and that could have been 1-0, but here we are still at 0-0.
I know talking, just as I was about to say before Jones was slipped in there, I know Lipscomb's, one of their goals tonight is to obviously look to control play, not let the Eagles in the back control their play. And statistically, when these teams just met a couple weeks ago, it was very even. Right now, as the Eagles come out on the near side, on this near side to the top of the 18, the ball bangs around, and Lipscomb's going to come away with control. And that's Sibley coming up on it, but we do have a whistle. The referee, Soren Stoika, stopping play at the moment.
Yeah, it looked like McAleenan just took a ricochet ball off the face from close range. Anytime there's a potential head injury, we're going to see a stoppage of play just like that, just to make sure the player is okay. And like you spoke about, yes, this game is going to be all about who can control the possession battle. Both teams love the ball. That is how they both attack and defend with the ball. Possession is key for both of these clubs, so whoever can win that battle in the midfield and control the possession will likely be the victor tonight.
And Sibley sends the ball up across the field for the Bisons, and we have a foul as the ball goes out of play. Would have been off on the Bisons, but the foul called on the Eagle defense. They're just being a little aggressive coming up for a header, and Lipscomb's going to come out favorably right now, pretty much right, not too far from extended from their bench. And probably look to have a ball swung into the box and see if they can get any action towards goal.
And this is a dangerous area for a set piece. And games with high stakes are all about set pieces, controlling the box when you're defending and getting on the end of them when you're attacking.
So the Bisons bring a left-footed in-swinger, and it's about to 10 yards out, headed by Florida Gulf Coast and clear, and Stoika does call a foul on the Bison, so we're going to come the other way and reset. Looking at the starting lineup for the Eagles, Wyatt Kistner we mentioned in the back, and across the defense you have Ohayon, you have Winshower, and Anthony Rowan. Really there are three across the back. In the midfield moving up to Dre and Cuckoo, and Lipscomb really takes just that quick. They can just attack on a loose ball and get dangerous, but right now Florida Gulf Coast coming back the other way. Ball played out towards midfield after a little bit of attempt by Florida Gulf Coast to play in, and it got deflected, and neither team could control the ball. Right now, though, at midfield does come the Eagles as they look to swing out on the far side. They certainly, as you even mentioned, ball control, and they can get through pretty quickly, just like Lipscomb can. In some ways, we're seeing a mirror image teams of each other. Again, statistically, a couple weeks ago, it was even up, which hasn't always been the case for a lot of Lipscomb opponents this year, so credit to Florida Gulf Coast. They're going to come physical. They're going to come play. They're going to want to possess, attack, and then get through as quick as they can. And I know that's what Lipscomb's got to look for on their backside, to be really well organized and not allow that.
Absolutely. Both teams love to play with the ball. Both teams have very similar styles of play. So passing through the midfield is going to be at a premium tonight, especially when each team is trying to build out. Both teams like to press as well. So both teams need to be clean with the ball. We saw here on this near left-hand side, Lipscomb almost had a very dangerous opportunity with an errant pass from FGCU. So those are the types of transitional moments in the game that can be very dangerous.
As the ball is played in midfield right now, a little bit of loose possession, but Florida Gulf Coast does take control and now looks to play through. On the far side, it's going to be a race on the far side, and here comes the Eagles looking to center a pass in the middle, left foot shot. Great block by Sibley, or else that would have been 1-0. Lipscomb now comes on control, and this is Jones. He sends it up to Dahlman. Dahlman looking to come back in the middle of the field to Jones, who gets taken down hard from behind. Going to have a foul here about 23, 24 yards out. Yellow card issued on the play.
And that is the absolute correct call by Soren Stoika, who's going to be commanding the match. And as the referee tonight, that's the right call. Malachi Jones was slipped in by Yeldrick, and he's taken down. And if he's not taken down, he's able to shimmy the next defender, and he's going straight to goal. But this is the type of match that we're going to see. End-to-end saves on one end, counterattacks on the other end. Very, very dynamic football. And that was very much on display for Lipscomb there.
And that's the amazing thing. We talk about literally less than 10 seconds. You have an almost goal by Florida Gulf Coast. Sibley comes up huge. And in a matter of no time, you have a counter coming the other way. That is extremely dangerous. And Dahlman slipped Jones in, like we said, who was taken down. So just outside the 18, this is probably about 25 yards out. Lipscomb with two players over the ball right now. And one is Noah Golden. And you got to imagine this is going to be taken straight on net by somebody instead of trying to play off. There's a golden opportunity right out top. Stoika just bringing two of the players one from each team together, just talking a little bit, not sure, just trying to settle things down or making sure clear communication from his side, but have a slight delay as he addresses both teams. 4 men in the wall for Florida Gulf Coast, and keeper behind him, Kistner's ready to go, and so is Stoika. Might have a left-footed attempt here by the Bisons, goes into the wall, and Stoika's going to bring it back the other way. The shot was taken there by Ali Lopez, and not sure exactly what Stoika had there as the call, but we're going to come the other way with a foul against Lipscomb.
Yeah, it looked like Stoika didn't like some of the pushing, tussling on the far side there. Called it against Lipscomb, and we're back the other way.
So Kistner puts the ball in play, comes to the near side right now, up near midfield. Eagles possessing and now bringing it back into their defensive third. Dahlman going to be quick to put pressure on for the Bisons. Still controlling, though, for the Eagles as they now look for a runner to play up, and that's Will Turner taking it back for the Lipscomb Bisons, plays it back to Sibley. Sibley now with a strong right-footed kick, brings it out across midfield. A header in the middle by Lipscomb ends up being controlled by the Eagles. So the Eagles still on ball on the far side now, and getting dangerous right outside the 18. Lipscomb, nice job defensively as the ball tried to be centered and just cleared away onto the far side there by Lipscomb.
Yeah, those are the little combinations that FGCU likes to play through the midfield and then eventually end up springing in Brown on the outside, the left side. So that's something that Lipscomb needs to be cognizant of and needs to defend well.
As a pass from the far side tries to come in, Lipscomb's able to clear it away. It is going to go off of the Bison, so a throw in here for the Eagles. Back near midfield, they possess, and they've been dangerous a couple times on the far side with trying to have a ball that's sent back in across the middle. Last 2 times Lipscomb's been able to get ahead on it. The first time was the almost near goal, and really both teams have had maybe one excellent opportunity in close range. So pretty even matchup with what we're seeing here thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. Both high-octane offenses, like we said, and stout defenses as well on the flip side of that coin. So both teams are very evenly matched, and it's going to be very interesting to see who really takes hold of this game as we've passed the 5-minute mark.
Florida Gulf Coast possessing right now about 30 yards from goal. Now swinging to the far side again, where they've had a lot of action running through that offensive left far side. But we do have a offside called by the near side official as the ball was sent to the far side. So a little reset here as the Eagles are in an offside position. And
that's definitely something to look for. Diagonal balls played into Brown over the top of Noah Golden there. They look to isolate him 1v1, try to get him down the end line for cutbacks and even one-on-one opportunities straight to goal. So that's something that FGCU looks to definitely do. And on the flip side of that coin, Lipscomb likes to isolate Malachi Jones.
And speaking of Jones on the ball now in this left corner, sends it across in the middle, almost possessed, real tight. In fact, is he taken down to the box, goes down. The official's not going to let the call, or he's not going to stop play. Is right at the top of the box now, Florida Gulf Coast, and brings the ball the other way.
Yeah, and that's the correct call by Stoika. He very much understood that Yeldrick was just trying to get his body in between the defender and try to kind of sell the penalty. He didn't fall for it, and that's what you get out of an experienced referee.
Florida Gulf Coast now trying to attack again in their offensive third, but cleared out of the back right now by Lipscomb. Ball comes out to midfield. The Eagles do control. Nice step in there by Lipscomb, and going to come away with the ball is Turner. Turner tries to possess, keep control, but it's going to be banged and goes off Lipscomb, and it's going to come out of play for a throw-in for the Eagles.
And now we see Stoika coming over, having a word with Yeldrick. He's letting him know that he understands what Yeldrick was trying to do there. And like I said, an experienced referee is going to manage these moments and not fall for things like that.
Yeah, good communication by him, just saying, look, I understand what you were possessing going through there. And in this type of match, you want to let the players ultimately decide it. And so nice job by him of kind of calming things down, just communicating what he saw there.
Correct.
Lipscomb now coming through as they look to make a quick counter. Might have been in an offside position, but wasn't going to matter anyway. It was played too far up as Lipscomb tried to spring Dahlman through. But the Eagles are now going to come out of the back. We're almost 10 minutes into this first half. That's really been an end-to-end match. So fun to see these two teams just getting after it as they go back and forth. Lipscomb does have the ball now as they try to bring it up, and they're going to control right at the top of their own 18. A little bit of a misplay by Lipscomb, but well recovered as they now send the ball up towards their attacking third, but it's going to go out of play on the far side, and Eagles are going to take possession. Yeah,
you'd like to see Nick Dang be a little bit cleaner in possession there. He normally is very, very clean, very, very minimalistic in his mistakes. That was, a last-ditch kind of sliding challenge he needed to make because his first touch let him down, and then it resulted into a throw-in for FGCU. But that's a little bit uncharacteristic of him, and I think their ability to build out Lipscomb is going to be something that's very key for them. So they need to be very cognizant of those details.
And you're right, Nick Dang has been sure-footed all season for the Bisons. In fact, the unanimous freshman of the year in the conference. As a little bit of an adventurous hope maybe from Malachi Jones on the near side. Not sure if it was going to be an attempted cross and just didn't get planted right, but goes well wide, well high, and the Eagles are going to take over at the 6.
Yeah, he was looking to play that early ball with his left foot into Yeldrick Dahlman. Obviously, the technique let him down, but the idea was correct. And to your point earlier about how much of a stalwart Nick Dang has been, the local product from Brentwood, he's been amazing this season. He's been very, very sure-footed. And what I like about him are his second efforts. Even if he gets beat, he's always looking to recover. He's looking to block shots. He's looking to help Sibley and his partner in Turner as well. So he's definitely a type of player that you're going to want on your back line because he just simply never, ever gives up.
And with the Eagles coming in at 8-4-4, if you're going to see offense, it's probably going to come from one of two guys, and that's number 10, Davi Alves. Is one of them. The other is number 25, Aiden Kira. They've combined for half of their team's goals, 13 of the 26 as we enter tonight's match. So two guys to keep an eye on there for, especially if you're Lipscomb as you're marking them up. A little bit more offensive firepower probably from the Bisons with multiple guys, including 11 from Yeldrick Dahlman, and another one with 7 is Hayes Wood. Malachi Jones has 6. So spreading out the love a little bit more on the offensive end with a very potent offense. And I know the depth of the Bisons is going to be something to keep an eye on, too, with different players coming off the bench who can provide fresh legs and opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lipscomb now with a ball sent in, but rising to the challenge on a ball that was just headed up and straight inside the 6. No problem there for Wyatt Kistner, who comes down with it and looks to spring on the far side quick again. Brown, like you said, they've continued to love that attacking left side as it heads down the far side and will go out of play. Lipscomb with the throw in now.
Yeah, he's definitely a player to look out for FGCU. Against North Florida on Saturday night, he was by far the best player on the field for me. He didn't even end up on the scoring sheet, but he was involved in every single goal, if not almost every single attack for FGCU. And your earlier point about how many players can just affect this game on both sides. You have Davi Alves for FGCU. You have Kira for FGCU. You have Dahlman for Lipscomb. You have Jones and Spicer potentially coming off the bench. So this game is just laced with talent, laced with players that can positively affect this game here.
A lot of athleticism as you look across the entire pitch, and that includes the guys on the benches who are going to be warming up to get ready to come in before long. As Lipscomb now takes over, unfortunately turns it over right there is Louis Robinson as it goes into the middle of the pitch, and the Eagles will come the other way. Right now at midfield, again, looking to go down the far side to Brown, and they're trying to play him through. Nice job there by Lipscomb, though, stepping up and cutting it off and taking possession. Right now at midfield, little slip by Lipscomb might have allowed a little misplay, went off, and the Eagles are going to take possession with a throw-in right in front of the Bison bench.
Yeah, it's a player that we haven't seen really come into the game yet so far, and Hayes Wood, he's always somebody who commentators are speaking of very, very much. They're calling his name consistently throughout matches because he normally has his footprint all over a match. And if FGCU can keep him quiet, that's definitely going to be a plus for them. But Coach Morrow and his staff are going to be trying to get him in the game as quick as they can.
Lipscomb tries to play through with not an easy pass, but a little play, and now Jones is on the ball, and it's turned over. Tried to slide it through, but into a wall of about 3 Eagle defenders who are ready for the challenge pretty quickly. Well on the other side of the field now as it got played back. Sibley will have it all the way in the back for the Bisons, and clears it up towards midfield, where Lipscomb will try to go on the right side, but headed down and controlled in the middle by the Eagles. Eagles now using the right side of the field for a little bit, back into the center, and now coming towards the near side, but turned over. A little bit of pressure there by the Bison, so Malachi Jones on the ball plays into the middle. Dahlman tries to lay it off, and unfortunately his teammate didn't know he was going to do that, and kind of ball just dropped dead now as the Eagles go the other way, and another whistle on the play, and I think Brown was slotted into an offside position there as he tried to be a little bit aggressive on his attack.
Absolutely, and once again, we see an attempted diagonal ball over the top to Brown. That's what they're looking for. That's who they're looking to isolate. But here again on this previous play, it was an unfortunate turnover in the midfield by FGCU, and that gave Lipscomb a potential opportunity to attack. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to connect the pass through Yeldrick, but that is something that FGCU, in my opinion, needs to clean up. Just
outside the top of the 18 now. Nice turn, and I think Malachi Jones was actually looking for a shot on goal, and it went a little wide, and Yeldrick Dahlman came across and got a header on the ball, but couldn't get it on frame.
Yeah, Malachi Jones was looking for that top corner. That's what he was looking for. There wasn't quite enough bend on it like he would have hoped, and opportunistically, Yeldrick Dahlman was looking to get on the end of it. He would have been offsides in the end, but you can just see what they can turn something into nothing at the drop of a coin.
Dahlman putting pressure on the ball towards the Eagles defense, and right now they try to play it out to midfield. Nice job by Lipscomb heading it back, but ultimately here the Eagles do possess right at midfield, trying to play it in, knocked out of bounds here, and that's blocked by the Bisons.
Yeah, McAleenan took that one to the chest. That's the second time he's been pelted by the ball from close range here. He's showing that he's tough, but man, I don't envy getting hit by the ball in the face and in the chest from close range.
McAleenan stepped in, the ball went out, and the Eagles now do possess down on the near right side, right in front of the Lipscomb soccer wall. Right near the corner flag, they're trying to look to see if they can send it in. Good pressure by the Lipscomb defense now, but the Eagles do slot it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Turner, basically to just thwart an opportunity that would have been a low cross, and we have our first corner of the match coming here for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, that's really good feet there by the captain in senior. He was able to elude Louis Robinson, put it through his legs, and earn a corner for his squad. That's very, very good footwork by him.
Tight corner down here. We are going to have a left-footed in-swinger from the looks of it. Lipscomb organizing in the back, and here comes the cross. Robinson able to get a foot and clear away, so it's going to come well out for a throw-in for the Eagles. Not a dangerous corner at that moment, but at that moment anyway, Lipscomb strong to the challenge.
Yeah, Alondre was looking for service to the near post. Louis Robinson was well positioned and was able to clear his lines.
Attempt throw-in goes right near the 18 and comes out Malachi Jones trying to clear. The Eagles do possess and looking to see if they can get anything going offensively. Lopez and Jones both on the ball for the Bisons, and Jones is the one that comes away with it and sends it back to Sibley just for a clearance to reset all the way out across midfield, and actually headed out by Florida Gulf Coast. So it's going to be a little bit of tight pressure in the back, turns now into offensive possession in the for the Bisons.
Yeah, in the end, very good defending by Lipscomb. They were under pressure. They were able to get the ball back to Sibley. He plays a good ball that ends up putting FGCU under pressure, and that's how you clear your lines.
Will Turner takes the ball defensively all the way back, gets it back to Sibley, looking kind of for a fresh restart, long ball by the keeper, and ball is controlled for the most part in the midfield by the Eagles. I say most part because both teams still fighting for the ball. No one's clearly come away with it, but the Eagles have had more touches on it as both teams are looking to possess. Down the left side again, and Sibley a little late coming off his line. Looked like a little bit of hesitation. Got there in time to make sure he got out and thwart any trouble, but I saw it look like a little bit of hesitation that I wondered if it might have cost him for a second.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision there by Sibley, but his experience prevailed. He was able to read the play, come out in timely fashion, and put out that fire.
At the top of the 18 now for the Bisons, a left-footed attempt, now right-footed. So left foot shot by Dahlman was blocked. Malachi Jones, who we have said his name time and time again, he's been involved in quite a bit here early. Had a good look from 18 and just put it high.
Absolutely, yeah, he's knocking on the door. He is knocking at the door. He wants to score. He hasn't been able to find target except past his first opportunity. He's hit a couple over and a couple wide, but he's definitely knocking at the door. And if FGCU doesn't tighten up, I think they need to mark him a little bit tighter, because if they don't, he's poised to score tonight.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're 20 minutes in, scoreless right now, 0-0. Between the Lipscomb Bisons, the top seed here in the conference, and the number 4 seed, Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. This is ASUN semifinal. Winner of tonight will advance to Saturday's championship game. That's at a site to be determined. On the far side, once again, the Eagles looking to make an attack, and nice defense there by the Bisons as they look to come away and cleanly take it away. That's an excellent job in the back.
And that's what we've been talking about, the defending from Nick Dang. His ability to defend 1v1 in the channel is something that is going to be on display all night. If he continues to get those challenges right, he's going to be able to stifle a major component of FGCU's attack in Brown on the far side. So very, very well done by Nick Dang again. But we're going to be keeping our eye out on that far hand side, that matchup between Noah Golden and Brown, and in those opportunities where he's able to get behind Noah Golden, what does Nick Dang do in the channel? And that time he defended very, very well.
I mentioned Saturday's final is at a site to be determined. That'll be at the highest remaining seed. So if Lipscomb as the top seed would advance tonight, they would host. In the other semifinal right now, early second half, Bellarmine's up on Central Arkansas 1-0. So another ASUN match there to keep your eyes on. Lipscomb looking to have an opportunity offensively, just couldn't get quite a clean touch on it inside the 18. Ball is out top now, and Malachi Jones takes a pass from Robinson and gets in, but loses possession as the Eagles look to come the other way. Trapped by 3 Bison defenders in the midfield, and just clearing things out there for the Bisons and making sure no issues is Robinson. On the far side now, Lipscomb plays a ball that goes off Brown, so it's going to go off near midfield right now, and that's going to be a Bison throw-in right at the middle of the field as we are about 22 minutes in here, so nearing the midway point of this first half. Very even matchup in terms of just back and forth flow.
Yeah, as far as possession is concerned, it's a pretty evenly matched game so far. Chances, as far as chances are concerned, Lipscomb has had the better of the chances, but we're still 0-0, so nothing in it.
Yeah, probably neither team has maybe had as good of an opportunity as their first looks on goal. Lipscomb's just a minute in right now as quickly we'll turn to action on the far side. Lipscomb trying to take it down and look for a cross, but played out by the Eagle defense. You're going to have a throw pretty deep in the corner here for Lipscomb. But, yeah, within the first minute, 2 minutes, each team with a golden opportunity maybe at about the 6. And both Sibley and Kistner were strong to the challenge.
Yep, and that's what you need out of your goalkeepers in matches like this.
Throw-in comes across, a nice little back, unbelievable shot over his shoulder like I don't want to say a full bicycle because he was kind of on the ground, but Ali Lopez turned and made an incredible shot from just inside the 18. Kistner gets a hand on it, tips it up over the bar. That was just a phenomenal effort right there.
Oh, man, that is creativity at the highest order. Ball kind of bounces over Ali Lopez's shoulder, and he hits the half volley, bicycle, whatever you want to call it, with his left foot, and it's barely tipped over by Kistner. That is football at the highest order.
First corner for the Bisons now. Golden in the right corner looking for an in-swinger. And sends it just about the 6, up to get ahead on it. No one can, and it goes to the far side. Looks like Jones for the Bisons tries to get to it, but it is controlled by Florida Gulf Coast as we come back about 30 yards away from Lipscomb's attacking towards the net. Ball now swung on the far side here. This is Dahlman, played into an offside position. He didn't think he was, but must have been on the official on the far side was all over that and immediately put the flag up.
And again, Lipscomb's knocking at the door. We haven't seen an attempt on goal from Ali Lopez up till this bicycle kick, but that's amazing. It just shows how many assets Lipscomb has, how many people can really, truly hurt you.
Right now at midfield as we are nearing the 20-minute mark on the clock, still 0-0 here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Strong on the ball, looking to try to go to the far side, and they do, somewhat predictably maybe, but that's Brown, and he's in an offside position. But you can tell a lot of their looks as they're just building their offensive threat, and whether it's a counter or whether it is build-up, they love to go down that left side.
Absolutely, and that was Kira there. He had good hold-up play initially, and like you said, FGCU almost hits like a blind ball over the shoulder of Noah Golden there, trying to spring in Brown. That was something that they did against North Florida, and they were very successful at it. And like the old saying always. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's going to be something that they're going to key in on all night.
And as you mentioned, that was successful this past Saturday with a 4-0 victory for the Eagles over North Florida.
Mm-hmm. And again, we see Nick Dang. He's in good position to just clear his lines with the header there, because if his positioning is a little bit off, Kira's open on the back post for a tap-in header.
Right now, as the Eagles possess on the far side in front of the Lipscomb bench, getting pressure by Lopez, who, again, had an incredible shot on goal, which led to a corner. Ball played out of the defensive back from the Eagles, and a little bit of a miss hit's going to give the ball back to back to the Bisons.
Yeah, just an errant pass there by Rowan. Uncharacteristically, he was looking to spring in Mar or Kira there in the channel, but uncharacteristically hit it out of bounds, and we're going the other way.
Robinson puts a long throw in, headed by Florida Gulf Coast, back to midfield. Nice possession there. That's Kira getting a touch on the ball, but the Eagles turned it over to the Bisons, trying to go over the top a little bit, and finally the ball comes down on the ground, possessed slightly by the Eagles, and thought Stoika was he called a play on as they looked to go down the far side. I thought he was going to call a foul, and then he was signaling play on.
Yeah, he gave advantage there. Mara was able to take that ball out of the air amazingly, and it rolled right into the stride of Kira, so he let it go, which is perfectly fine by me.
Lipscomb brings the ball in play. Defensive gives it back to Sibley, who brings it out across midfield with a long kick, but the Eagles do possess. Right now just playing in their back four, sensing a little bit of pressure from the Bisons as the Eagles look to swing it to this near right side. That's well done successfully there, and Rowan's on the ball. Rowan now looking to try to come up towards midfield. He does. Nice little 1-2 as Florida Gulf Coast trying to build up a little bit here with some good possession. And just as we say that, they go down the left side, which is their bread and butter. Now Brown on the ball on the far side. In the corner, brings it back to the corner of the 18. And an attempt to try to bring it out and crossed over is blocked by the Bison defense, and the ball pops out towards midfield where Florida Gulf Coast once again controls.
And now the game is starting to really calm itself down. Florida Gulf Coast is able to play the style that they like to play. Possess, swing the ball from side to side, find both of their sixes, then pop it into the 10, find Brown out wide, and that's what they look to do on the very last play here. But what I really liked about that last play specifically is you have your outside mid and Hayeswood tracking back, making a tackle that needed to be put in, and then Lipscomb's able to defend their lines, clear their lines. But again, FGCU is kind of controlling the tempo for these last 3 or 4 minutes here, and that's what they look to do.
We have a little bit of a reset here, a foul called on Jones. So Alon Dre is set to take a left-footed ball, going to try to put it into the box. Everyone's lined up across the top of the 18 as Dre gets set to play this. A two-man wall for the Bisons, Lopez and Jones in the wall. And here comes a big left-footed play to about just outside the 6. Florida Gulf Coast can't get ahead on it. Pretty good ball and dangerous if someone could, but the ball went out of play. So leading to a 6-yard kick by Lipscomb.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very good service there by Alondre. It looked like he was just trying to clip the ball into the back post, have somebody kind of make a fading run to that back post and climb the ladder and get ahead on it. But looked like the communication was a little off there.
So we have the first sub of the game for the Bisons. Tyree Spicer comes into the game. He's coming out to the left side. Looks like Dahlman might have slid out, and Malachi Jones slid up into the center for the Bisons. So fresh legs coming off the bench.
Yeah, and when you can bring in a player like Spicer into this game who can get at his counterpart in an outside back and create something off the dribble and with combinations, hit balls from distance is obviously something that is a plus for any club.
Spicer comes into the game, 3 goals, 6 assists, but that doesn't tell his true story because he's going to get a lot of attention, and he is a speedster down this left side. So we really have 2 left sides here that we're going to see in the offensive attack that are going to be, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a whole lot more of that.
Absolutely. Spicer has speed, he has intelligence, he has technical ability, and definitely a player that FGCU knows they need to mark up very, very well.
Similar chance here for the Bisons, just as we saw a little bit ago for the Eagles on a potential ball into the box. A foul called on the Eagles on the far side, so 2 men on the ball for Lipscomb. And they're going to take a left-footed ball just out to the top of the 6. Not a problem there for the keeper. Kistner comes up and easily gets it, now brings the ball with a throw all the way out to midfield here. And looking to make an attack is Shandell on this near side, but loses possession and brings it back to the defensive side, but the Eagles still do possess.
We also have Alan Efty coming into the game, a player to definitely watch in that number 10 role position. He subbed in for Ale, and he's definitely a player to look after. His skill, his ability to create chances, and here he is on the ball.
And Lipscomb tries to bring a ball centered in. The fans thought that it might have caught a sliding defender's arm. No call. Everything continues as is, as now a quick run the other way. That's going to be down the far side again, and he is on and looking to see if he can center a ball back. He does, but blocked by the Lipscomb defense. Nice job there by, I believe that was Turner who got in the way and just thwarted a quick opportunity right outside the 18. Florida Gulf Coast trying to look for a cross, but just tremendous positioning there by Will Turner, who's not allowing a cross to get off. Ball is going to be out, and it's actually going off the Eagles. So great job there by Will Turner, just setting himself up in great position and just not allowing a cross to get sent in.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Dang had to slide out to help in the channel there, and that forced Turner to essentially defend on that near post. He was up for the challenge, but not only was he able to prevent a goal from happening, Lipscomb was able to gain possession, and they're going back the other way. That is what good defending is all about. Not only dispossessing your opponent, but maintaining possession for your club.
So as the ball comes out now and is settled down at about 30 yards out, here comes the Eagles on an attack and played away by the Lipscomb defense out to Malachi Jones.
If they can find Spicer here, this is dangerous.
And here you go. On your call, Spicer is 1-on-1, takes a big kick, and he has a step inside to the 18. Left foot about 8 yards out, slide across, and just goes wide.
And that's what they do. Whenever they're able to isolate either Spicer or Jones or Hayes Wood, it's very, very problematic for the defense, and that is on display. That is the first play that Spicer is heavily involved in, and he almost creates a goal.
What an opportunity there by Lipscomb, and you called it. I mean, you give him just space, and boom, next thing you know, before you could blink, he was in, and the ball just missed the right post by, I wouldn't say feet, it was less than that, if a foot, but no goal for the Bisons, and wow, impressive to see just his athleticism and pace on display there.
Yeah, and when you're really talking about formations, with FGCU playing with 3 players in the back on their back line, it really is going to be, there's always going to be space for the likes of Hayes Wood, the likes of Spicer, the likes of Malachi Jones when he's on the far side to be able to isolate the 3 back.
Ball possessed right now. Jones coming up a little bit of a limp on the play, trying to see if he can just shake it off and get back into it. But Sibley now has it in the back for the Bisons, clears it out in front of the Lipscomb bench, settled down. Ball will be possessed by the Eagles right at midfield. 12 minutes left first half as the Eagles come down the left side, but nice job right there by Lipscomb defender stepping in, takes control, and ball is played out and away. It's going to be Eagles ball, but you go from early action to settling in, and now we're back to kind of some fresh legs. You're seeing some opportunities building on both sides.
Yeah, and that is what subs are supposed to do when they come into the game. They're supposed to affect the game. And with Spicer and Alan Efty coming in the game with about 15 minutes to go, of course Coach Morrow is going to want them to get on the board, to change this game in a way where the scoreline is not just 0-0. They want to go into halftime at least 1-0 up. And, of course, FGCU is trying to do the same thing. So this game is locked at the moment, but it's going to be a race to the first goal.
And looking on the first goal, the opportunity down on the far side, but ball went out of bounds, but there was a Stoica called a push, and it's going to be Lipscomb's ball coming the other way. If you look at the scoreboard, shots say 7-1. Lipscomb probably, as you said earlier, has had some more of the dangerous opportunities, but it's hard to believe the Eagles have only had 1 shot. It seems like they've been knocking on that door a little bit. So possession has been in favor of Lipscomb, but goodness, this is an Eagles side that can make things happen pretty quick.
Surely. I think tactically FGCU will be happy with the way that they've performed in this first half up to this point. To your earlier point, I think the 7-1 in shots statistic is a little bit misleading because Brown on that far side has been very, very dangerous. He's been given Noah Golden some problems. Nick Dang has been able to defend well in the channel, but if that dam on that far side breaks, it's going to be an issue for Lipscomb. But you cannot take away what Lipscomb's done in this first half. They've had definitely the better of chances. This chance here a few minutes ago from Spicer is a definite clear goal-scoring opportunity, and Malachi Jones had a very, very clear one in the first 2 minutes of the match.
Lipscomb looking right there for an opportunity, and it was a header on goal from a foul that was well out, and then the header on frame. Not a problem right there for Kistner. Hayes Wood got the header attempt on net, and the Eagles will now control from the back as they look to come out. Just over 10 minutes left first half in this ASUN semifinal. A little bit of a misplay there, first by Lipscomb with a header that deflected, and then Brown down the far side actually kind of ran past the ball. Maybe he didn't anticipate having that opportunity kind of caught him off guard as the ball is now cleared back out and goes out of bounds in front of the Lipscomb bench as FGCU will take over.
Yeah, the ball just kind of skipped past Brown there, and Noah Golden was able to read it well. He got himself in between the ball and Brown, and was able to clear his lines and push FGCU back. That's good defending and good positioning by Noah Golden there.
Coming in for Florida Gulf Coast, Tremaine Simpson and Landon Amenez coming for the Eagles. So 2 fresh legs coming off the bench for Florida Gulf Coast as the ball gets played in now and possessed by Lipscomb. The Bison's looking to make a quick attack down the far side, but a little bit of just a mistouch by Jones trying to lead his offensive attacker. So Florida Gulf Coast comes back on the near side now, and they look to send just into the game. Simpson sends the ball inside at the top of the 18, trying to one-timer, and it was a little bit of a mishit. It was a mishit, but almost sent his teammate in on a run, but he was called in an offsides position by the official on the near side.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward play there. Fortunate for Lipscomb, it was offsides in the end, but those sometimes can be opportunities off ricochets or whatnot that end up in goals.
Spicer now on the ball and sends it to the near side, trying to spring Robinson, can't do it, and Florida Gulf Coast brings it back and controls. In the defensive third, they're now play all the way back, so Kistner now on the ball. Lipscomb looking just to let it settle in a little bit. Now Spicer trying to put a little possession or a little bit of pressure on the defensive side. Left foot trying to come out towards midfield. Robinson has no problem getting it now and heading it back in, so now Spicer is about 25 yards out, tries to turn, goes down, no call. Official says play on, and quickly coming the other way here, trying to spring Florida Gulf Coast, trying to spring their offensive player in Amenez, who just came into the game. But Lipscomb quickly on that, and now Sibley has it in the back.
Yeah, a tentative defending there by both Will Turner and Nick Dang. Nick Dang comes across, heads the ball back, and puts the fire out.
A big kick in the back by Sibley had taken it down near the 18, and ball's just been ricocheting a little bit. The official does call a foul, and now both teams have some players coming together. Neither team liking each player getting in the face. We did have a yellow card brought out, and unfortunately I'm not exactly sure at the moment who the yellow card was assessed to.
Yeah, it looked like it was to Kira. There's a little bit of talking, a little hey, how you doing afterwards between him and Nick Dang, and Stoika ended up giving the yellow card, it looked like, to Kira.
Yep.
And for me, that's good management of the game by Kira to make sure that the emotions don't boil over, and that is something that is ever present in a game like this. We have a whole bunch of competitors out there, guys that are fighting for their seasons, their livelihoods, and it's up to the referee to manage those emotions, and I feel like Stoika's doing a very, very good job of that so far.
Yeah, and the yellow card there was assessed to Kira. The foul was on the Bisons, but Kira came in a little emotional, and Stoika just quickly settled things down. Right now on top of the ball is Florida Gulf Coast, trying to get a shot from distance. Couldn't do it, but they still do possess now on this near side. Malachi Jones making a really nice job from up top, coming back and helping out on the defensive side of the ball as things get cleared out back to midfield, and Spicer putting pressure on as Florida Gulf Coast controls. Back to this near side. Louis Robinson on the ball. Can't quite get it as Florida Gulf Coast looks to go in. So Simpson, who had just been into the game, and also Amenez are quick on action, being pretty involved as two of the subs. And there's Amenez again bringing it back to midfield now for Florida Gulf Coast, and the Eagles turning to look to try to see if they can slide someone in. They do, but Sibley to get a quick touch, and it was another offside. But that's what they're doing. They're looking to see if they can just slide someone in and catch someone maybe in a position where they're not quite set. And if they do, they're going to be having an opportunity.
Certainly. They're towing the line. FGCU is towing the back line of Lipscomb, and the Sixes are looking to kind of just slip them in. And that is definitely by design. That's something that they're looking to do, because with a back four, that is a very, very good way to try to get behind them. Diagonal runs off the shoulders of the of the center backs.
And speaking of a run, Lipscomb just was slid in right there and had a great opportunity. And nice save on the play by Kistner. Ball played back out, and Robinson tried to get an aggressive, or excuse me, from distance. Lipscomb tried to get aggressive, and ball went wide. But that's as quick as it can happen. We talk about it on the attacking end for the Eagles. Lipscomb does it, has a shot on net, and nice save by Kistner.
Certainly, and that's vintage Hayes Wood right there. Playing off the shoulder of the two defenders, getting slipped in, and being very, very direct. First touch out of his feet, and he's looking for that far post. Kistner's up for the challenge, but that's what I like to see from Hayes Wood.
Now trying to attack quickly the other way are the Eagles, and controlled by Lipscomb, plays back all the way to Sibley. Sibley with his left foot brings it out, and see if Lipscomb can control, and they do.
Good technique there by Luca Nauman.
Yeah, Nauman settles it back, and now trying to spring Jones up, and he is onside position. One-on-one on this near side. Going to try to go on his right foot. Does. Cross deflected by the Eagle defender, and that's enough to just throw things off in the attack as the Eagles come the other way. Ball at midfield on the far side, trying to be possessed, and it's going to be nearly out of bounds. It is called out of bounds. And it's going to be Florida Gulf Coast possession on the far side on the throw-in. So just under 5 minutes left in this first half, still 0-0. Shot count 10-2 in favor of the Bisons. Doesn't tell the true story. Maybe dangerous chances advantage Lipscomb, but that's nothing to say that the Eagles haven't had some good opportunities and some close calls. And, there's sometimes those 50-50, I don't want to say 50-50 balls, but those calls that could go either way if the official think someone's in an onside position. They're sliding them in and getting some quick opportunities if that can go through.
Yeah, this game has been very even so far. If you're just looking at shots, it won't tell the full story. It's not to say that Lipscomb hasn't been a little bit more dangerous than FGCU, but this game is very, very even.
Yeah, even just to the standpoint we talked early in the broadcast about the matchup when FGCU gave Lipscomb their only loss of conference play, 1-0, just a couple weeks ago. Statistically, that game was level the whole way through. And that was really the first team probably in conference that has challenged the Bisons that way.
Yeah, and everybody is well aware that this game is going to be a tough one as well.
A defensive turnover by Lipscomb turns into an almost opportunity by the Eagles, but Florida Gulf Coast can't quite come through outside the 18. And now Lipscomb plays it down this near side for us as Spicer tries to get on the ball. Isn't quite able to do that as the ball gets played back to Kistner, and he clears it out to midfield. Falling down for the Bisons, but able to control possession at the just outside the 18. Now Spicer goes down, no call, and Florida Gulf Coast still possesses. Now brings it back as they look to go to midfield, but now back into their defensive again, and now a full clearance up towards their attacking third. And they're right now, that's been their offense, playing balls over the top, looking to spring someone, but Lipscomb strong to the challenge.
Yeah, and what I really like about this game is the energy. The energy level has stayed very, very high. The competitive nature has been on display from the opening whistle, and it hasn't lulled. At times, toward the end of the half, the last 5 minutes or so, the game can lull off and can get a little bit slow, but we haven't seen that happen. Both teams are very, very determined to unlock this match and to get on the score sheet.
Sibley now has possession well outside his 18, brings it on the near side at midfield. Robinson on the ball for the Bisons. Left-footed play to Spicer. Off his chest, brings down to left foot. Looking for a run. Robinson going outside his shoulder, takes it in just outside the 18. Left foot cross / shot, and it just goes wide. Oh, my goodness, for the Bisons. That was close with 2 minutes now left on the clock. Still possessing far side. Great opportunity there by Louis on an overlapping run.
Yeah, it's a very, very good wing progression run there by Louis Robinson. He's able to get slipped in by Spicer. Plays a teasing ball to the back post, and it almost hangs into the far net.
Wasn't sure if that was going to be a pass or a cross, and it almost ended up golden for him.
Absolutely. If it finds the back of the net, it all counts the same. Cross, shot, it doesn't matter.
He would have said shot, I can guarantee you that. Right now, Robinson does have possession back out top, and he tries to play ball at the top of the 18. Nice job by Florida Gulf Coast, just getting a header on it to take away an opportunity from possession for the Bisons. And, Florida Gulf Coast tried to spring their offensive attacker through up top, and the official was, again, right on top of it. I don't have an offsides count right now, but I would guess that's got to be probably somewhere in the 6-7 range, maybe even a touch more as we get to 1 minute left in this first half. And Spicer on the ball, plays back into the middle. And now on the near side, Robinson looking to left foot to try to run along the end line, centered, and Kistner just there strong on the post. Wasn't going to be a problem as Alana Fetty came in and tried to get a ball played through.
Yeah, and on the previous play, FGCU tries to slip Jacomba in, and you said they've been offsides multiple times tonight, but it only takes one. It only takes one. If Lipscomb doesn't get their lines right and FGCU is able to time those slip balls in only once, can really hurt you. So that is the way that FGCU is looking to unlock this match.
So as we hit 20 seconds left here in this first half, see if either team can make a last-ditch push towards goal. Lipscomb has the ball on the far side, trying to see if they can possess. Florida Gulf Coast plays it out. 10 seconds left. Quick throw in for the Bisons. They're going to see if they can unload anybody in the box. A couple guys come forward and head it out.
Let's
Louis
see it from Louis Robinson.
Going to take a rocket of a left foot shot from probably 35, 40 yards. And that went just wide of the net, but a great opportunity and a look that he wasn't afraid to attack.
Absolutely, and it looked like the only person who wasn't worried about that shot in the whole stadium was Kistner. I'm not really too sure why, but I guess he could have seen from where it was taken from Louis Robinson that it was going wide. But overall, a very, very good first half in my opinion. It's still gridlocked at 0, but the second half is going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, this is build up and maybe build just what we thought it would be. Great matchup between the top-seeded Lipscomb Bisons and the 4-seed Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. We are 0-0 at the Lipscomb Bison Soccer Complex. We will be back, and we are in halftime, so we'll join you in about 11, 12 minutes for what is sure to be an entertaining second half. And welcome back here to Lipscomb Soccer Complex on the campus of Lipscomb University. This is the ASUN semifinals, and we're getting ready to start the second half here. Brian Engel alongside Jalil Anibaba, and we were just talking at the break there. What an entertaining first half. Not often do you see a 0-0 score that had as much action and was packed like it was.
Yeah, you called it, Brian. For a 0-0 first half, it was very exciting. And typically that's not the case. With the 0-0 half, you're kind of trying to figure out what to talk about, who are the key players to kind of keep the broadcast smooth. But this has been definitely a match that has been exciting. It's been end-to-end essentially from minute one, and the second half will be even more exciting. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we kind of joked. We said it could be 1-1, it could be 3-1 maybe, but it's 0-0, and it's not due to lack of activity. And I'm sure the next 45 is just going to give us just as much action. A little lineup change for the Bison starting here in the second half. Up top on the left side is going to be Tyrese Spicer. So Spicer in on the far side after what was a quality last 20-25 minutes maybe that he gave for Lipscomb.
Yeah, and a bit curious as to why Yeldrick Dahlman isn't starting the second half. Maybe caught a little knock. Who knows? Maybe it's just the way that Spicer was able to come in and affect this game. But in the end, Lipscomb has so many attacking options coming either off the bench or with the ability to start the game. The quality certainly won't drop off, or at least you don't expect it to.
As we're watching it and you're viewing it on your screen, Lipscomb in the all-whites going left to right, Florida Gulf Coast in the all-blues coming right to left. And just as we get underway here in the second half, the Eagles will start from the back here with Kistner. And he's going to look to just build up with a throw and just settle it back from the defense and see what they can work up coming through the midfield. Trying to make a connection in the midfield, but Lipscomb is strong to take the ball away. Tries to get it to over on this in the middle to the wood, but can't do that. And the Eagles now, ball's going to be called play on. Player went down at midfield, but play on was the call. And now Stoika's going to bring it back, I believe. Not sure. There's two players down right now for Florida Gulf Coast, and I'm not sure which. Looks like on the near side and closest towards the 18 is where he was going to call the second foul and stop play.
Yeah, Stoika ends up deciding to give Hayes Wood a yellow card. I think it's fair in the end because of the initial challenge here on Alondre, excuse me, and then the subsequent foul on Brown here. So I understand the call. Certainly is going to be a dangerous free kick in favor of FGCU, something that Lipscomb is going to need to get right if they want to keep the scoreline 0-0.
So about 25 yards out right now, Florida Gulf Coast is going to have a chance for, I don't know if they're going to take a shot, possibly. Over top the ball is their top goal scorer with 7 goals on the year, and that's Davi Alves. So he might put a crack on net. Obviously has a chance to hit a little bit bender in there and see if they can get a header on it. But it looks like he's going to go strong with his right foot. Lipscomb, go ahead.
Sorry, Davi Alves, he scored an amazing goal against North Florida on Saturday night from this exact spot. Sibley surely knows that. Lipscomb surely knows that. Both Noah Golden and Alejandro are in the wall. They know that as well. So it's definitely something that, you know, everybody needs to definitely make sure they're watching. They're looking at the YouTube feed right now because it's definitely, you know, an opportunity that he can cash in on. He's
gonna take his right foot, and we're gonna see in just a second here is again Lipscomb in a 2-man wall. Sibley organizing the wall, make sure tight on the post, and Stoika blows a whistle to start the ball in play, and here comes the attempt. Tries to curl near post. Good opportunity. Surely it wasn't as dangerous as maybe he had hoped.
Yeah, he pulled it a little bit left. Obviously, he was looking for that near top corner. Didn't get the technique quite perfect, but obviously he has the technique to get that ball to dip over the wall. One thing to note, it's good to see Alondre come back into the game. Anytime, you know, player takes a knock to the head, you're always hoping that they can come out of it okay on the other side.
Sibley with a big ball from the back as Lipscomb looks to control possession, and they do on the near side here in front of the stands and right in front of us as well. Ball bounced around a little bit, though, and Florida Gulf Coast and their all blues is going to look to come the other way. Right near midfield, Eagles do possess, and it's deflected off of Lipscomb, and now Nick Dang was the one who deflected it out.
Yeah, and a good intervention by Nick Dang there. If he doesn't make that interception to knock the ball out of bounds, Brown is getting sprung in on this left-hand side, and we all know that how much trouble that can cause.
Yeah, we mentioned Nick Dang, the unanimous freshman of the year. This field is really lined with first-team selections. You have Sibley for Lipscomb, Noah Golden for Lipscomb, Lopez for Lipscomb, Yeldrick Dahlman for Lipscomb, Malachi Jones and Hayeswood, and then Alves Davi, who we just saw in that last attempt. So there are 7 players on this field who were first-team selections in the ASUN conference, as Florida Gulf Coast now looks to become dangerous. Again, ball inside the 18. Lipscomb well organized defensively and able to clear it out of the back now and come across midfield. And there's going to be a
this is going to be a yellow card for sure.
Yeah, yellow card on Nadav Ohanan for Florida Gulf Coast right in front of us, who just took down Malachi Jones trying to open up in space and get out front.
Yeah, I think again Stoika gets this call correct. That is definitely a yellow card, and you know, like you were speaking about earlier, just the amount of talent that's on the pitch right now, and so many first-team all-conference selections for Lipscomb, and you know, FGCU has accolades as well. So there's just so much talent on this pitch right now. The game is gridlocked, and we're going to see which talented player is going to be the hero.
You mentioned it. We chatted about this off air at the half too. The center official tonight, Soren Stoika, has really controlled things well through your experience in playing in the MLS. You've seen him quite a few times, and he's really from a match management standpoint, I thought done a nice job as a center official.
Yeah, Stoika is one, like you said, who's reffed his fair share of games at the highest level.
Lopez now trying to do a little flick on to see if he can get inside and dangerous, and really was dangerous. Nice job, though, by the defense of Florida Gulf Coast, though. Back on the ball are the Bisons, and Malachi Jones tries to play through. Ball pops up in the air as the defender and the keeper everyone collide at one time, but just a little bit of everyone coming together, but no issue there in the end for the Eagles.
Yeah, Winchauer's able to shield off Malachi Jones, and then Kistner comes up and makes a timely intervention there. You're speaking of Soren Stoika's experience. Yeah, he's reffed many of my games in MLS, and his experience has been on display from the opening whistle. He's managed this game very, very well, and that is what is needed in a game of this magnitude.
So this one is, if you're just checking in, rejoining us in the second half, we're about 4 minutes in, and 0-0 between Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. In the other semifinal in the ASUN conference, Bellarmine and the University of Central Arkansas. Last update was 2-2 with about 6 minutes left in regulation. So the winner of that match and this one will, as that match has gone to the end of regulation, tied at 2. So another overtime match down there. That'll be Bellarmine's second after coming out victorious in penalty kicks in their first round match. Malachi Jones on the ball now, turns it over for the Bisons, and Florida Gulf Coast looking to come down this near side. Near side for us now this half, as they often use the left side, and on top of the ball now coming to right foot trying to play through. Can't do so. Nice job by Dang deflecting it inside the 18, and the Bisons do deflect it and come away with it now as they're looking to come in front of their bench and come up, and a foul. Sideline official and Stoika were both on top of that as Lipscomb was trying to clear from the back.
Yeah, clear foul there by Davi Alves, it looks like, on the far side. What I like here on this last play was Noah Golden's ability to just shepherd Giovanni Brown into his help, force him inside to where all of the Lipscomb defenders are, and that prevents him from getting down to the end line and creating any dangerous opportunity. That's very good defending there by Noah Golden.
Sibley tried to take a quick attack down the far side to Spicer, but kicked the ball out of bounds, unfortunately for Lipscomb, and right at midfield. So a little bit of play by the misplay by the keeper, and right now on the far side, the Eagles will look to possess and see if they can break down what's been a solid back wall for Lipscomb thus far tonight.
Yeah, and uncharacteristic mistake there by Sibley. He's very, very good with his feet. That's one of his standout qualities as a goalkeeper. Unfortunately, plays the ball out of bounds. It becomes FGCU's ball, but FGCU isn't really able to do much in terms of making them pay.
FGC Rowan had the ball now right near midfield and is able to possess and play up through. Lipscomb now, Golden comes across. He can't quite get possession. The Eagles stay on top of it about 35 yards straight out from goal. A little chip inside, trying to make a little bit of a run-on play, but Sibley, quick off the line, comes up and snatches and sends a big ball out to Malachi Jones. Malachi can't quite get it, and the defense for the Eagles will just head it back. And the keeper in the back there, Kistner, has no problem, brings it forward. Lipscomb, Lopez looking to apply some pressure near side, and the pressure was fortunate for Lipscomb, and it went off the Eagle player right there. Tried to bring it in. Brown couldn't quite possess it.
Yeah, and you would have to wonder if fatigue is maybe setting in a little bit for FGCU, with them having to play that game on Saturday night where Lipscomb got the bye. That's an uncharacteristic mistimed first touch by Giovanni Brown there on this near side.
As on the far side, Jones is caught in an offside position, and that's something probably that we're going to keep an eye on over the next 38 minutes of regulation here. And an excellent point by you is how will fatigue come into play? This game was played 48 hours ago as Lipscomb sat up in the stands and had the chance to rest their legs and watch who they're going to play. For a good part of the match, as obviously anytime you're in the playoffs, everything's heightened. The physicality of it, the intensity. So even though the score line was 4-0, they still had to play a full 90 just 48 hours ago. And how will that play out over the next 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, and that game that they played on Saturday night, although the score line was 4-0, it was a tough match for them. North Florida is a tough team to unlock, and FGCU definitely had to work for it. So there's a lot of mileage and heavy legs out there, and that could be an advantage that Lipscomb may be able to take advantage of. But Lipscomb is definitely, Florida Gulf Coast is definitely a side that is no pushover. They are going to compete till the final whistle here tonight.
On the far side, right near midfield, the Eagles do possess, and after throwing, Lipscomb applies pretty good pressure and forces a turnover. Ball goes out of bounds, so Lipscomb quick to bring it back in play. Spicer on the ball just outside the 18, gets turned around a little bit. 1-on-3, tries to play it back to Jones. Jones falls down trying to bring it through, and the Eagles are able to come through. A lot of feet around that ball for Florida Gulf Coast, and Lipscomb wasn't able to crack through. Now still on the ball for the Bisons. Lopez gives it up, tries to slide through Hayes. He can't do it, and Florida Gulf Coast now trying to come the other way here in front of us down this left side. So Brown's coming down this side, and Eagles attacker goes down, and just a trip over the ball. So Lipscomb now, Dang tries to play it up the right side. Jones see if he can run him in. Jones can't quite get to it. Florida Gulf Coast, nice job by the defender, turns it around, but again, pressure by Lipscomb almost forced a turnover, and Malachi Jones now just getting called for a little bit of getting his arms up in there and a little bit feisty with his hands. Yeah,
a lot to recap there, but in the end, very good defending by Winshower. He comes into the channel, is able to ward off the Lipscomb attack, and then keep possession for his side here. And to take it back even a little bit further, again, we're speaking of the referee a lot tonight, but Stoica does a very good job to let this play here. There was a potential foul on Marr, but he didn't fall for it. I thought it was very honest defending by Lipscomb, and there was kind of a back and forth play here. We're gonna continue with FGCU free kick going the other way.
So Malachi Jones getting checked out by Lipscomb athletic trainer Kyle Barr. Comes onto the pitch just to check out Malachi. I'm not sure if he was stretching legs out, calf out, if anything was happening there, but Stoica is sending him off just for a second on the side, then he'll be able to re-enter back in. But good news is he looks fine, is not going to have to spend any bit of time off the pitch. So 36 minutes and change left here in the second half. We would expect this one's going to go down to the wire, just the way this has played out over the first two-thirds of the match. Florida Gulf Coast does possess right near midfield, looking to go up the right side now on the far side, down in the corner, and Ball's going to go out of bounds off of Lipscomb. So here you can have a chance deep in the Lipscomb Bison territory for Florida Gulf Coast if they can mount anything from an attack, whether through a long throw or see if they have anything with a short throw and try to send a cross in. Eagles looking to see if they can get something set. Bisons have 9 guys in the box, so they're stacked up defensively, and Bisons are just going to get a big clearance and get it out of trouble for the moment anyway, as the Eagles are going to look to mount back and see what they can do right at midfield. Eagles in control, bring it back to their defense. And now look to play. There's the big ball they're looking to play up now on the right side, and that one's just going to trail out of play. But we saw through the first half, early stages of the second, they're looking for that big ball over top to try to spring somebody on their offensive attack.
Yeah, they try to exploit their outside mids.
And speaking of a quick attack, and Spicer is in, going to have a left-footed shot, and it goes just wide. But that's there's what we're talking about on one side. You spring someone through. Florida Gulf Coast almost does it, and in a matter of seconds, Lipscomb turns the other way, does it, and the shot there by Spice goes just wide of the net.
Yeah, the shot in the end isn't what Spicer wanted, but that's his ability to get in behind, to time his runs, and to use his technique to dribble past the defenders as he slipped in. Again, the final product let him down, but he's been knocking at the door since he subbed on midway through the first half.
A good opportunity there for Lipscomb, goes by the wayside. So still 0-0, 34 minutes left here, second half. Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast down on the far side now. Lipscomb looking to make a cross, does so. Hayes Wood trying to get his head on the ball, and it popped up, and Hayes is the first to it. So now he's on it, tries to give a right foot cross back in. Thought it was going to go out of bounds off Florida Gulf Coast. It doesn't. Still ball inside the 18. And now sent across by Golden to the top, to the 12. Oh, a nice turn there by Malachi Jones, but right at Kistner.
Yeah, and that's just good football all around from both sides there. What I really like is that Louis Robinson has gotten forward, and he's played that little teasing ball to the back post. That's 2 times now that have caused issues. Hayes Wood is able to get up, almost scores on the initial play, but keeps it alive, and Malachi Jones almost scores from about the second 6 there.
Yeah, some good quality by both sides right there, both the defense and then the look by Malachi on frame. On the far side now, the Eagles are looking to make a quick counter coming the other way. Dang just does a nice job settling the ball. I believe that was given off to Turner, who now plays it up a little bit, and Florida Gulf Coast still trying to push on that far side. But good organization is where I was really going there in the back, of just knowing spacing, knowing who's around him, knowing he could just settle and just play quickly off to his defensive partner there in the back.
For sure. Nick Dang and Will Turner, they've had excellent games up to this point so far. They've been in very, very good positions. They've been able to make interceptions, make tackles, make blocks when they've needed to, and they've been relatively calm and effective in their possession and the build out as well. If you go back to that last attack for Lipscomb, what was also very key there is Kistner's ability to make saves time and time again. If you know one thing about FGCU, you have to earn your goals against them, because Kistner commands his box very, very well.
Yeah, Kistner's done a nice job. 5 saves on a total of 13 Lipscomb shots, so 5 on frame. And he stood tall to the challenge tonight to hold one of the top offenses in the country off the board thus far, as we get near just under 32 minutes left in the second half. It's 0-0 between the Bisons and the Eagles. Nice job by Dang coming up at midfield and creates an opportunity here just outside the 18. Jones slots it across to Lopez. Lopez on his left foot, going to take a crack. Not yet. Tries to play it on the far side, now back, and it's going to be deflected out of bounds. Nice job by Lopez there. I thought he was going to give it a go, and his patience paid off, and now an opportunity on a corner for the Bisons.
Absolutely. Good, very, very good deception in his first touch there to elude the defender. The defender thought he was going to take it first time. Maybe we even thought he was going to take it first time up here in the booth, but he played patiently, like you said, and looked to isolate Spicer, and they're rewarded with the corner kick.
So Lipscomb now with about 7 in the box, 1 in the corner, 2 defenders back. Right-footed in-swinger comes backside. Nice job by Kistner popping it up. Ball's loose in the box, cleared away by Florida Gulf Coast, but Kistner able to kind of get an initial just touch to deflect and get the ball out of play.
Yeah, he's up for the challenge there and commands his box well, because if he doesn't come out and get a paw to that one, Hayes Wood is dunking that one in far post.
Yeah, Hayes has been on the receiving end of a couple opportunities with some nice headers this year, and I know Bison faithful here, we're looking for that opportunity, and Kistner, like you said, excellent job of just controlling his box and taking away a potential opportunity.
Yeah, Hayes Wood is a handful, and anytime they're looking to play dangerous service into the box, they're looking for his head for sure.
Nick Dang trying to apply pressure on Brown right outside near midfield, and Stoic is gonna call a foul. Nick Dang quickly responded, and Stoic is calling him over.
Yeah, the home crowd isn't going to like this one, but for me, that's the correct call. Nick Dang was grabbing a little bit, got his hand kind of stuck in the candy jar there, and Stoica, again, an experienced referee, knows how to handle those situations. Some referees would brandish a yellow card there, but it's unnecessary. He just spoke to Nick Dang, calmed him down a little bit, and the game keeps progressing.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head there. I wondered if a yellow was going to come out, and I didn't think it should, and he did exactly what he should. Calmed the situation down, told him, hey, knock it off. He started to jab back a little bit, and he just settled the issue right there.
And players certainly appreciate that when there's a little bit of a rapport between the players and the referee. A healthy dialogue tends to help in calming things down and keeping it just about football. For me, what we haven't spoken about is how much this is just a straight up packed house here. The Lipscomb faithful, they're waiting for something to just send them into a frenzy. So if we see a goal on either side, we're definitely going to hear them go wild. So Lipscomb is definitely going to want to give their home fans something to cheer about, but FGCU is not making that easy.
Yeah, great crowd on just what is a beautiful night for soccer. Little wind, temperature probably, and we're looking mid-upper 60s. It was in the low 70s today. Just a perfect night to be out here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, and the stands are reflecting what is true to just perfect weather to come out and support both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, an amazing night to play some football. In this weather, you can run all night.
So potential opportunity here. A lot of guys thrown in the box for the Eagles. So left-footed from the far side coming in. Header by the Lipscomb defense clears it away. We're going to have a throw-in on the far side, just from about the same spot where it was put into play from the foul just a little bit ago. But nice job by Lipscomb not allowing any opportunity right there for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yep, and again, it's Nick Dang. He's in the right place at the right time, powerful header to clear lines.
If you're seeing this Lipscomb team for the first time all year, I guess you see why he is a unanimous freshman of the year. He has been one constantly coming out of our mouths of just organized in the back and making good decisions and plays from that position. Yeah,
and a player that Coach Morrow is very, very proud of. And like you said, his youthful legs are something that is definitely an upside for this Lipscomb program, because he's going to be here for years to come.
Nice job on this near side by Malachi Jones, taking the ball away from Brown, who didn't like it, got a little aggressive, pushed him down, and Stoic could just stop play for a moment. And and after, there's the fans coming alive that we just talked about.
Yeah, the fans are coming alive. They pretty much spoke that yellow card into existence.
Yeah, Giovanni Brown continued to jab a little bit with Malachi Jones, and then continued to kind of push back and was a little verbal. But there you go. Stoica, again, just stepping in and saying, no, we're not going to allow that. And he wasn't going to give a card initially, but the more that there was a little bit of banter and pushing, he said, okay.
Certainly. Brown forced Stoica's hand there, and Stoica had to give him the yellow card. He gave him the opportunity to just walk away from the play, and he took a yellow card there for dissent, and maybe that might be something that will come back to bite Brown in the backside. Sometimes you just need to be able to temper your own emotions when the referee gives you the opportunity to do so.
28-12 left here in the second half at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Still scoreless. Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast, as Florida Gulf Coast is on the move, about 25 yards out from net, looking to try to play up top. Hayes Wood comes back and does a nice job of just stepping in as Lopez now comes out towards midfield. He was trying to send Jones, now goes on the far side to Spicer. Spicer lets it go over his shoulder, now set a one-on-one on the far side. Spicer, big body, good frame, tries to get inside. Ball gets deflected out. Going to be another corner kick for the Bisons, but that's set up by athleticism and his speed on that far side.
Yeah, it's his athleticism, but also his awareness in terms of timing, when to make that run, linking up eye contact with Lopez there, and making sure that the timing is correct, and that allows him to settle the ball and then take Simpson 1v1. Simpson is up for the challenge there, because if he is not, that would have been a very problematic situation for FGCU. They need to defend this corner to get out of it for sure, but that's a very, very promising attack there by Lipscomb.
So Malachi Jones steps off. Javon Smith comes in for the Bisons. Right-footed in-swinger on the corner. No one on the back post, so pretty good ball. Just went a little bit undangerous as it got through with no one on the backside. No one there for Florida Gulf Coast either. The ball goes out of bounds and will be a 6 kick for the Eagles.
Yeah, typically Hayes Wood is the one that is the target and has been getting on the end of a lot of the good service there, but FGCU does what they need to do to defend the set piece, and now they're on the attack.
So Lipscomb looks to turn back the other way, now coming up near midfield. Lopez on the ball, plays back. And now on this near side, you have Wood. Wood loses possession momentarily, but just played out and knocked out of bounds right there. Rowan just clears it. Wood with the throw-in. Looks to give it to Golden. He does. Back to Wood. Now into the middle of the pitch. Just played all the way back to Sibley. McAleenan played it back to Sibley, and Sibley just plays it wide now. Up towards midfield, trying to check back to the ball. Florida Gulf Coast with possession at the moment. Spicer, though, steps up, plays it off his chest, brings it down to his feet on the far side. Tries to slide through, now does to the corner of the 18. Now corner of the 18, just a little bit of fancy footwork and got caught, just ball in his feet, and Florida Gulf Coast takes over. Cleared out from the back. Kistner just played it long ball near side, and I think enough of the midfielders had kind of pushed back a little bit. No one was out. Ball came out, and so Golden takes a throw in for Bisons. Louis Robinson now coming up through the middle of the field, plays on this near side for Hayes Wood. Hayes Wood on his right foot. Looks to maybe give it to Lopez, who comes back. Now Lopez back on the ball. Wood looking to support. Lopez left foot, cuts it back to the middle, and Florida Gulf Coast, nice job defending. And ball's going to be deflected out for a throw-in deep in the corner, but it's still going to be for Florida Gulf Coast.
I'm no psychic, but the way this game is playing out, it's looking like it's setting up for a late thriller. Both teams don't want to give a single inch on the pitch, and typically the way these games play out, it's in the last few minutes where we can see the game finally open up.
Well, here, speaking of open up on the far side now, Florida Gulf Coast has a little bit of a space one-on-one. Defender Will Turner just staying strong to the ball, trying to stand him up. He does a nice job, and ball went deep in the corner, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles, but nice job right there. Quickly switching fields, and we haven't seen him use that attacking right side as much. But they did at that point, quick switch of fields, and all of a sudden you have an opportunity. Now it's going to be a corner. Yeah,
that was good tactical awareness by FGCU to isolate Shandell Sr. on the far side. He hit about 6 step-overs on Will Turner. Will Turner did exactly what you need to do as a defender. Just keep your eyes on the ball. He was not mesmerized by any stretch of the imagination with the step-overs from Shandell Sr. there, and he was able to do what he needed to do to defend adequately as a 1v1 defender there.
6 Eagle attackers in the box. Left-footed in-swinger coming on the far side it is, and Sibley goes up, punches it, doesn't control it, loose in the box, and now out near the 18. Ball still loose, going to be off of Lipscomb, just clearing it out of trouble. Nice corner there. Sibbs couldn't quite get his hands on it, just punched it, and ball was loose for a little bit, so maybe a momentary pause for the Bisons fans at that moment.
Yeah, Alon Dre there was just looking to put the ball pretty much on top of Sibley's head. Sibley kind of had an awkward play to kind of just punch it up in the air, and we're back at the corner kick.
So corner kick now on this near side. The previous one on the far side, now the near side. Looking to be a right-footed in-swinger. The Eagles send it across, and ball goes to the far side. Sibbs couldn't get his hands on it. It went loose, but all the way to the far, and it's going to go out. It's going to be off of Lipscomb.
And that's something that FGCU is doing by design. They're trying to just whip the ball right on top of Sibley and even almost try to score Olympiacos and try to kind of create a little bit of chaos there. And Sibley's been up for the challenge so far, but that's definitely something that they're doing by design. That's off the training pitch. And, you know, in my opinion, that's smart of FGCU because that's something that's very difficult to deal with.
So we hit the halfway point of the second half here, so still scoreless, 22:30 left between Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast in a spot, they swung it in from the corner and now control about 25 yards away from goal, but nice job by Lipscomb coming back and taking control, attempting to clear it upfield from the defenders, but ball just stays in, a lot of feet involved right there, and Florida Gulf comes away with it right near midfield. Feels over the past few minutes, maybe a little bit of the action's actually been now in favor of possession-wise. Florida Gulf Coast a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, anytime we've seen the game lull a little bit in energy, FGCU kind of methodically passes the ball, but Lipscomb is able to dispossess them at times and get out on the counter kick like we see here.
Now Hayeswood just outside the corner of the 18 looking to cut it to Lopez, but nice job right there by the Eagles. Defense shuts it down. Ball's going to come out of play and going to be an Eagle throw-in.
Just as we saw in this last play here, the captain for FGCU, Abdul Kuku, he's been all over the pitch, breaking up plays, maintaining possession. He's even dropped into the back line at times when they need help. He's definitely a player that is the glue to this FGCU team in the middle of the park, and his leadership on the ball and in defending has been on display for the whole match tonight.
Nick Dangan cleared the ball all the way back to Sibley, who was trying to hit Spicer on the far side. Ball went out of bounds just past the Florida Gulf Coast bench, so not in a dangerous spot for either team, but Eagles will take over control and look to see if they can build something up here through the midfield. Looking to switch fields now on the left foot, bringing it over on this near side now to Rowan. Rowan trying to come up near midfield. They do. Louis Robinson putting a little token pressure, kind of look like, not too much. And Florida Gulf Coast now playing it into the back as they look to come up the other way. Still just possessing in the back, maybe looking to see who they might have on a big ball over top. They are looking for Brown, and Golden was all over that and stepped in position, so Florida Gulf Coast just controls it as they gently work their way upfield now. But here's Spicer on a turnover, and he can't quite cut through, but was just in good position to at least give the Bisons a little bit of life opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. But Winshower makes it absolutely perfectly timed challenge, because if he doesn't, Spicer is in on goal, and those are the opportunities in possession that they don't want to be sloppy there. FGCU needs to clean that up because Lipscomb can really punish them on the counter kick.
And Golden now looks for Hayeswood on this near side, trying to play a deep ball. Wood will be the first one to it, tries to take it to the corner and cross back over, but not enough of a presence there by Lipscomb through the midfield, and Florida Gulf Coast now come back the other way. Trying to play a big ball over top. Nick Dang just enough to get a head on the ball to deflect a little bit of an opportunity there for the Eagles.
And we're seeing this game get stretched out for maybe the first time throughout the 90 minutes tonight. It's a little bit more stretched. We're seeing longer passes bypassing the midfield for the last couple of minutes, and that's uncharacteristic of both teams, but that's what can happen when you're trying to look for solutions to crack the code of a gridlocked game. Both teams are kind of trying to mix things up, trying to play a little bit more direct than either side would like, but at times that's what you need to try to do to unlock a game.
As Lipscomb gets set to put the ball in from near midfield, left foot play up to about just outside the penalty spot, and Kistner came well off of his line there, but had no problem controlling it. As we give a quick peek at the other semifinal in the conference, about 7 minutes left, second overtime, still 2-2 between Bellarmine and Central Arkansas. So Bellarmine could have an opportunity for their second straight penalty shootout win, which would advance them to the conference championship. So a couple eyes on what's going down in Central Arkansas as well, with a tight match there as that one hits the home stretch.
Yeah, and the conference tournament so far has not been short of excitement and not been short of games that have been very, very exciting for their fans to tune in on, this match included. This is definitely going to be a game that, whoever comes out the victor is going to be proud of what they've been able to do, just because there's just been so much work that's been needed to go into this game.
Spicer on the ball, looked to give it. Now Golden has it just outside the 18, making a run from all the way in the back. Really nice job.
Yeah, the home fans wanted a penalty kick call, but there's nothing in it. Good defending by FGCU. Smart by Noah Golden to try to sell it, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah, and Golden, nice job coming all the way from the back just to provide an extra body, extra presence. A little bit of an opportunity, but nothing came of it. But just his ability and knowledge to make that move from the back.
Yeah, that's definitely one of his strong suits. One of the stronger aspects of his game is coming forward, making timely runs to be able to overlap and try to create chances from that right back position. But FGCU's up for it, and there was really nothing in it at the end of the day.
Couple subs for the Bisons back in the game here. Dahlman's up top, so he's reset. Spicer out on the far side. Malachi Jones back in on this near side. So Charles Morrow at this point saying, hey, if we're going to get it, we want to get it in this next stretch here. And speaking of that, Dahlman might have a chance at an immediate impact here as Lipscomb has it, trying to give it to Lopez, who just got taken down right about 25, 30 yards away from goal.
Yeah, and you called it. That's immediate impact from that front three there in Yeldrick Dahlman to begin with. He was able to pick up that ball off a little ricochet. He was looking to spring in Malachi potentially, but they end up with a free kick in a very dangerous position, and you have Luka Nauman and Noah Golden over the ball here, and either of them can put in a dangerous ball. Maybe they go direct, maybe they try to clip one into the far post, or play a teasing ball toward the PK spot.
Yeah, Luka Nauman would be left-footed, Golden with the right. Golden overruns it. Luka plays it, a little bit of a flick on, just outside the 6. Spicer tried to get it, but a lot of company, a lot of defense in there didn't let him get it a clean look away at the net. Yeah,
something off the training pitch, and it almost ended up in something, but there was, like you said, there's a traffic jam there in the middle, and it didn't really come off the way they would have liked.
Florida Gulf Coast quick on the attack the other way, and a nice job by Sibley to get back into it. Just looked, my eyes up here, maybe a little bit of a delay. As many people as Lipscomb threw forward in that last chance, they were just slow to get back in transition.
Yeah, but that's what you like to see from your goalkeeper. Coming up big when he needs to, being aggressive, no nonsense in the box. Jacumbo was looked to be the favorite to get on the end of that ball, but Sibley had other thoughts.
Yeah, Sibley goalkeeper of the year in the ASUN conference, so he's well tested, well experienced, and really, obviously, both keepers at this point have been tremendous thus far tonight on some opportunities and chances. In front of the Lipscomb bench, the Bisons will be called for a foul, so just under 15 minutes left as we hit the final home stretch here in the second half. Unless something changes, we might be looking for an extra 20 minutes of action tonight, just like they're seeing down in Central Arkansas.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes of any match are always going to be the most crucial when the scoreline is close. And it's when fatigue starts to set in. It's when, subs like you've just seen can come in and affect the game. It's really when all the hard work really becomes tested. It's really when everything that you put in throughout the week to prepare, everything that you put in throughout the first 75 minutes to prepare and keep yourself in the game is really going to be tested.
Stoika calls a foul in the middle of the field, and Dahlman got the yellow card, kind of coming his cleats up a little bit as they were going for the ball. And Lipscomb fans not too appreciative or maybe agree with the call, but maybe the right call there if he's coming in with cleats a little bit high.
Yeah, the Lipscomb fans, they definitely don't like it. It was a little bit of an awkward play, but I think maybe the yellow card was given there just maybe for safety precautions. The cleat went up there by Dahlman. Don't think it was intentional, but yellow card was fair.
Right now, ball's popped around in the middle of the field, and Lipscomb trying to come through. I was going to say the Eagles take possession, but Lipscomb is able to get the ball, and now Malachi Jones on this near side keeps it in play. Nice job. He's going to have a little bit of an opportunity down here and trying to build anybody in the middle. Jones seeing if he can get a a cross off, can't do it, and that's just an excellent job back there by the defense of the Eagles.
Anthony Rowan coming up huge there, absolutely huge. Malachi Jones is able to turn the corner here on this near side in his defensive half and make a 60-yard run. If he's able to skip past Anthony Rowan there, you're looking at a chance on goal. But that's what you need to see in your leadership defending by Anthony Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan, his name has come up time and time again tonight. Felt that he's done a nice job with some of the strong Lipscomb attack from the wing, and has really stood strong tonight. Lipscomb now trying to clear from the back end, but Florida Gulf Coast does possess. Right now about 25, 30 yards away from net now, much further out now as they're going to look to reset, maybe bring it back to the defense. They do. Rowan now has it all the way back. So just in front of Kistner now, they're trying to reset and realign. Lipscomb trying to put pressure on. That's Nauman out there in the middle. Right at midfield on the far side, ball went out of bounds as Florida Gulf Coast tried to possess or a little pressure by the Bisons, just forced a little turnover there, and they'll take over at midfield. So just over 12 minutes left in the second half, still 0-0. Lipscomb 13 shots, Florida Gulf Coast 4. We've hit that theme a couple times throughout the night. That 13-4 difference is not indicative of what the action has been. It has not been that one-sided, and maybe better scoring opportunities by Lipscomb, but quality of play from both sides has really been entertaining.
Yeah, it's been an even match, and we've been saying that all night, and it just really has been. Both teams have played a very competitive brand of football. Both teams are trying to keep the ball when they can and create opportunities when they can, and quite frankly, I really like how both teams have played so up to this point.
Malachi Jones on the near side trying to make a pass and does so successfully, but pushed off the ball for the Bisons. Yeah, we're going to have a foul there called on Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, Alan Efty's just able to shield off the ball and use his technical ability to draw a foul there. He just subs into the game. He's like for like with Alejandro Lopez, and his creativity, his ability to draw fouls is something that is definitely an advantage for Lipscomb.
Yeah, nice job by Alan Efty, staying strong, giving Lipscomb now the opportunity. So ball comes in from this near side to the back post, and Lipscomb can't quite get a shot, a header, or anything as the ball just drifts out of bounds, and taken over for a goal kick will be the Eagles.
Yeah, that's good service in by Luca Nallman. All of the balls that he's been able to put in tonight have been, in good spaces, good areas that allow his teammates to just climb the ladder and try to get on the end of them. That's all you're asking for in service there, is to just give your guys a chance, and he puts it in the right area pretty much every single time, in that in-between space where Kistner isn't sure if he's supposed to come off his line or not. So as this game continues to wane toward the final minutes, set pieces is going to be something that both sides are going to be looking to take advantage of.
We near 10 minutes left now in the second half. Potential overtime on the horizon here from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex on the campus of Lipscomb University here in Nashville, Tennessee. Bison's starting to play from the back and looking for a long ball up the side here. They're going to have Golden on a run, but Rowan's going to try to shield off, and if he does, it's going to end up going off over the end line. It does. Nice job again by Rowan. Just good body placement there on the defensive side.
Yeah, two players that definitely have the ability to impact this game heavily in Noah Golden and Rowan in that corner. They're fighting for the ball, jockeying for position. Rowan does what he needs to do, earns the goal kick.
With a quick check-in Central Arkansas, that game has finished its second overtime at 2-2. So they're heading to PKs for the second time down there for Central Arkansas. See if, for Bellarmine at Central Arkansas. So we'll see who gets through that one, and that winner will face tonight's winner. That game will be on Saturday at the campus of the highest remaining seed. So that's coming up Saturday evening. Right now, just under 9 minutes left. Malachi Jones was making a strong run, and the defense right there for Florida Gulf Coast had no chance but to just say, I'm clearing the ball, not going to take any chance of danger or a misplay, and just clear the ball well on the far side. So Lipscomb has the ball and the throw-in on the far side, and after a little bit of knocking it around, will possess once again with throw-in.
Yeah, that was smart there by Winshower to just clear his lines, live to die another day. Again, I'm no psychic, but something is telling me that there's going to be a late thriller here. I don't know who, because both teams look like they're poised to hit the back of the net.
Golden now thinking right along the lines of maybe what you were thinking, little wishful maybe in his attempt there. It was not necessarily, almost like he tried to chip Kistner when maybe he should have taken a crack at it, but ball went, not a problem, went well over the top backside of the net.
I think he was just trying to play a little cultured ball, hang it up there for Yeldrick, Dahlman, and trying to give him the ability to go climb the ladder and go be the hero, but his technique let him down a little bit, but you could see what he was trying to do.
Florida Gulf Coast now trying to be a threat down on their side. Coming off the line is Sibley. He clears it well across midfield, and you're getting a lot of end-to-end action. This is not a game that has been played between the 18s too much. And Lipscomb now just going to try to see if they can build up a momentum and pressure on their side. Here comes Hayes Wood. He is inside the 18. Ball to the far post. Good ball. No one was on the receiving end of it. It was probably more dangerous from a fan's perspective maybe than what we saw, because we knew no one was on the backside, but a moment's pause there for the defense as it got all the way through.
Yeah, and that's good play there by Hayeswood. He's able to turn that corner and play a little bit of an early ball into a dangerous area. If Malachi Jones is anticipating and is able to get on the back post, that's a tap in. But that is vintage Hayeswood, and a definite type of play that's hard to defend and hard to handle.
So just under 7 minutes now left as we continue to keep an eye on that clock. Obviously, in a game like this, any goal is going to be precious, but one right now almost would certainly be the game winner to send whoever scores it to the championship. So it's going to be interesting to see if any team makes an adjustment here in the final 6 minutes. If we go overtime, haven't had overtime at all in the regular season. If we go overtime, it is 2 10-minute periods, no golden goal. So be curious to kind of see how this last 6 minutes goes, if it's a little more defensive or if teams are going to try to still stay open offensively. Lipscomb about 30 yards from net, trying to see if they can put something together. Unable to do so as they trip over the ball, and the Eagles take possession, looking to go up the far side. And Lipscomb's able to stick a foot in there and knock the ball out of play. And we're going to have a throw-in now for the Eagles.
For Florida Gulf Coast now entering the match, number 14, Alondre. Exiting for the Eagles, number 16, Timon Zesh.
Alondre checks in here for freshman. He's a freshman from Israel, checking in for Florida Gulf Coast with 5.5 left in the second half.
Yeah, and Alondre, definitely a key player for Florida Gulf Coast. He's definitely one of the guys they try to look to build through possession with, one of the guys who is on pretty much all, if not most of their set pieces as well. So it's crucial to get him back in the match.
Lipscomb has the ball near midfield, trying to play over the top to Dahlman. They can't successfully do so, and Florida Gulf Coast has possession. Thought the Stoica saw what we saw, a foul on Lipscomb, and quickly coming the other way was the Eagles, and too quickly for them, as caught in an offside position there was Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, the linesman on the far side makes the correct call. Jacomba is offsides. He was just ahead of Nick Dang there. Nick Dang was ready. He was ready for anything that he needed to do, but in the end, we're going back the other way.
As we hit 4.5 minutes now left, second half, and this could be a golden opportunity here. Kind of a maybe an unnecessary foul from a defensive standpoint, trying to go up for a header and kind of climb in Lipscomb's back here.
Yeah, that's the second or so time that's happened with Dahlman, and I understand when you're a defensive player and you're trying to impose your will on the game, especially with a center forward and Dahlman who's tall, good in the air, can hold up the ball. Sometimes you're a little bit overzealous, and there's a free kick here for Lipscomb, and so, like you said, in a dangerous area.
Yeah, about 30, ballpark 30, 32 yards out from frame. So I don't think maybe they can quite put this on net, but anything in front of net to create traffic, create an opportunity for the Bisons is what they're going to be looking to do right here.
McAleenan looks like he's ready to step up and strike this one on goal.
Here we go. He does take a low drive, and it goes through, and Malachi Jones almost got his feet in there to slide through. Just a hard, low-driven ball there. I think they were hoping to maybe hit some foot traffic and get a kind of a slide and see if they could put a redeflection on frame.
Yeah, and I'm mistaken. That was Alan Efty, and yes, to your point, he plays the ball very, very low, begging ball to the back post, and you know, if somebody is just sliding in there on that back post, you can get a tap in. But that's good service there by Alan Efty.
Yeah, Jones was the one trying to slide through, and he wasn't too far away from putting his feet on it. So 3 minutes left now as Florida Gulf Coast on the far side tries to swing a ball into the middle. They do so in a miss on a header attempt. Right in the middle, player down for Florida Gulf Coast. Ball bouncing around. Sibley comes away with it and just clears it away. Good opportunity for Florida Gulf Coast, but they couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, and that was the first time where Lipscomb really lost their marks in a dangerous situation. There, you saw Florida Gulf Coast was able to get in between the defenders of Lipscomb, and that was a very dangerous situation. Sibley coming up with the play, but that was very, very dangerous and a good attack by FGCU.
Big hit right there from about 22 yards out for the Eagles. Goes wide. Sibley had a good look at it the whole way, knew it wasn't too much of a challenge, but an open look and an opportunity there. Goes just wide as we hit about 2 minutes left. Late here in regulation in Nashville.
Yeah, and you can hear the fans. They're turning up. They're trying to will their home team to victory here, and there's still everything to play for. This game is locked, and somebody is looking to step up to be the hero.
Jaleel, we're going to see if your ability to call a late hero might come to fruition here for one of these sides as we go under 2 minutes left. Lipscomb still possesses now at on the far side in front of the bench for the Eagles. Trying to work on the far side. The Bisons do so. An attempted run on the far side gets deflected by Florida Gulf Coast. Ball still in play. Not overly dangerous at the moment, but Lipscomb now tries to come to the middle of the field. Nice job defensively by the Eagles to kind of clear away from any pressure.
Yeah, and again, you see Abdul Kuku, he's breaking up plays, making timely challenges when his team needs him to, because as a defensive midfielder in that sixth spot, it's definitely a crucial skill to have, and it's paid dividends for FGCU, because if Spicer's able to wiggle out there and find if he's able to switch play there, it could have been a dangerous situation.
So after a throw in here, just 18 extended, we have a foul called by Stoika, and we trickle down to about 45 seconds left. He does stop I thought he stopped the clock. Clock's still running, so about 40 seconds left as we continue here, and he's gonna have an opportunity for Lipscomb here. This would be that late opportunity we're talking about. So Lipscomb on the far side, going to throw it in the box and see if they can get a header on frame. Comes to the back post, and getting a header on it was the Bisons, but up and over top.
Yeah, it looked like Louis Robinson was able to get his head on it, but the angle was just a little bit too tight. He couldn't redirect it either back for a second header for maybe Hayes Wood or something like that. It goes over the goal, but in the end, decent service, but the angle was just too tight.
And Kistner's not going to be too quick to put this in play. He's going to let it run down to the very end here. Now just put the ball out towards midfield. And we hit the end of regulation here in Nashville at 0-0. This battle so far has built up to be exactly what we anticipated. Great matchup of two quality teams, and with the opportunity, with a bid on the an ASUN championship opportunity on the line, that this one's going to be potentially decided in overtime, if not after 20 minutes. Could potentially be headed to penalty kicks.
Yeah, this game has been evenly matched even before we kicked off. And, Lipscomb is looking for their redemption against FGCU in their last match, and this is definitely going to be an overtime matchup, and one that everybody is going to be excited to figure out who is going to come the victor. Are we going to see some goals in overtime, or are we going to see penalty kicks? Who knows, but it's definitely going to be exciting nonetheless.
So we're going to take a quick break from the mic here. We'll join you back. There's about 4.5 minutes left before we'll get underway with overtime. Once again, from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex on the campus of Lipscomb University, your score at the end of regulation, Lipscomb 0 and Florida Gulf Coast 0. We'll be back very shortly. Well, welcome back to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. I'm Brian Engel alongside Jaleel Anababa, and we can officially say something for the first time all year for both these teams. So for a Bison's team that enters at 12-2-2, and for an Eagles team that enters at 8-4-4, this is their first time where they're going to be playing extra time. That's a rule change this year in NCAA soccer. Throughout the regular season, there has not been overtime. Games would end at the end of regulation and just cut there. So now for the first time all year, we're going to see overtime. And this is not golden goal. It is 2 10-minute periods. And we're going to see if there's some magic on who has it on either side as we enter the first 10-minute overtime period.
Yeah, no way around it. Before we leave tonight, there will be a winner, whether it's in overtime or in PKs. So we're going to see how tired legs play out, if that is a factor. But nonetheless, still everything to play for, and there's definitely going to be some sort of excitement.
Lipscomb resetting now and looking to see if they can come up. Lipscomb on your screen, moving left to right. All white jerseys, Florida Gulf Coast right to left in the all blues. Lipscomb enters this game as the 1 seed in the conference tournament, and Florida Gulf Coast got to this point after a 4-0 victory over North Florida in the first round game, which was held on this field at Lipscomb University on Saturday night. On the far side, Lipscomb trying to make a run on a throw-in and can't quite get there, but it's going to be deflected. Ball goes out of bounds off the Eagles, so Lipscomb will reset and try to bring an offensive opportunity here for the Bisons. Throw in for Lipscomb, controlled down at the feet, and potential offside position. Yeah, the referee on the near side. Nice job by the defense there to kind of just step up and catch the Bisons in an offside position.
Yeah, in an organized fashion, like you said, FGCU has been disciplined in their defense all night. They catch Malachi Jones offsides, and that's one of the best ways to defend him, to make sure that you're organized, make sure that, you know, when he steps into those offside positions, that somebody doesn't drop in behind the line and compromise the integrity of the line and the offsides trap there, if you will.
Now resetting things in the back. Kistner sends the ball well over midfield, and the ball is just headed up in the air by both teams. No one possessing yet as Lipscomb tries to get to it, but it's going to be brought down to the feet by the Eagles. They play back towards midfield. Rowan now has it on his feet, trying to make a runner up through the middle. Can't quite connect. Lipscomb is able to take over. And right in front of us, Lipscomb now trying to also make a run down the near side, but can't do so. Rowan, again, his name continues to come up, does a nice job defensively, plays it back to Kistner, who clears it out past midfield.
Yeah, Rowan's definitely had a very good match tonight. He's been very, very poised in his ability to maintain possession. That's a commentator's curse right there. But his defending has been spot on all night.
Well, and as that ball was playing out, what you want to see as a fan, as a student athlete, as a coach, whoever you are, you want to see a clean quality goal, and you hope that nothing is a misplay or a mistouch. One almost was there by Rowan, which could have created an opportunity. Thankfully didn't for the Eagles. And we're going to see something special over the next 17 minutes by one side or the other.
Yeah, and to your point there, late in a match like this, especially in extra time, mistakes do happen. They happen all the time. So oftentimes when a game is so evenly matched, it is about mistakes. It's about which team is able to capitalize on those mistakes. And both teams have played a very clean match up to this point. To your earlier mention there,
yeah.
There haven't been any real errant passes that have led to clear-cut chances. There haven't been misplayed passes or whatever have you from defenders. So sometimes you see those in overtime games, though.
Well, and just as important as the physical fatigue in that discipline is the mental discipline that comes at the end of 90 minutes. And this is a new stage now for these guys of dealing with the pressure of not only overtime, but the pressure of a season on the line and all that comes into play. So certainly a factor on the field here as these two teams battle it out in our first overtime, as we are just about 3.5 minutes into overtime number 1.
Certainly. It's at this stage in the game, it's way more mental than it is physical. It's about motivating yourself from within, making sure you're talking to yourself, making sure you're in the right positions defensively, making sure your technique is clean offensively, and you definitely don't want to be that player to let your team down, and everybody is wanting to be the hero to lift your team up.
Florida Gulf Coast going to have a throw-in fairly deep in Eagle offensive territory here. Official on the far side bringing him close to where the ball went out of bounds. They get a flick on inside the box near the top of the 18. Trying to get a left-footed shot. They do. Good look. I wouldn't say great look, but it forced Sibley to get on his side and make the save. And, hey, at this point in overtime, no shot's a bad shot.
Yeah, and that's good technical ability by Jacumbo to wiggle free there. And like you said, to get a shot off. It didn't trouble Sibley too much in the end, but that's good technical ability and something that FGCU is going to be happy about to be able to get a shot on goal.
Yeah, and you never know. A shot on goal could lead to a deflection. It could lead to an extra opportunity. At this stage, if there's an opportunity to take a crack at net, it's wise to do so, and Florida Gulf Coast almost got one in there.
Sure, certainly. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
So under just 5 minutes left now, halfway through this first. It is a 10-minute overtime period. There will be 2 10s in this semifinal match. Florida Gulf Coast with a throw and in possession down in the far corner. They try to swing one in. It deflects off and is going to be a corner for the Eagles. This will be their 4th corner of the night. Lipscomb with 3. So 4th corner coming up here for Florida Gulf Coast as they're sending about 5-6 guys into the box, counting at the moment, keeping 2 guys out near midfield and everyone else floating around the 18.
And what we're expecting here from Alondre is to just whip this ball right on top of Sibley and basically see what happens. That's what they've been doing all night, so look for that.
Left-footed in swinger. First head to it is Lipscomb, and then Malachi Jones outside the 18 gets a foot. Ball is deflected and possessed right now by Lipscomb, trying to make a quick counter. Here comes the other way. Malachi Jones might have a step. Rowan coming over to make a defensive help. I think it was Rowan, maybe somebody else, but Malachi's shot went up and wide. But quick transition there, and I'll tell you, this place was on their feet, ready for a moment of brilliance.
Absolutely, all the home fans got off their seats. They were ready to just erupt and go wild. But at the end of the day, Lipscomb the FGCU defense, was able to keep Malachi Jones on his left foot without much of an angle. And of course, FGCU is very confident in Kistner's ability to make a save on the near post with not much of an angle.
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job closing him down before he got too deep inside the 18 to force maybe a shot sooner than he would have wanted, and the result went up and wide. So, yeah, nice job by Florida Gulf Coast of taking the good opportunity away there from Jones.
Yeah, and for me, defensively, that's been the name of the game. How well can each team defend in the channels in these 1v1 situations to manage the attack of the opposing team? FGCU's had to do it time and time again against Spicer and Jones, and Lipscomb has had to do it time and time again with Giovanni Brown.
At the top of the 18 now, Lipscomb taking a look. That was Malachi trying to take a hard shot. It deflected off the Eagle defender, went out of bounds, so we're going to have a corner kick here in the near corner for Lipscomb.
Yeah, it looked like Windshower there was able to make the play. But it goes out for a corner kick, and Malachi Jones just continues to prove how dangerous he can really be.
Nauman looking to take a left-footed in-swinger. A lot of Bisons trying to hit the top of the box as Nauman now sends it in. Goes to the back post. Kistner gives a punch on the ball coming out. Nick Dang tries to head it back in the middle. Golden opportunity by the Bisons.
You would really put your money on Hayeswood finishing that opportunity. Nick Dang is able to keep that play alive. He finds Hayeswood there, and you would love to think that Hayeswood would finish that one. He definitely will want that one back.
Maybe a spot right there where he found himself more open than he thought he was going to be and rushed it, and the ball went wide unharmed. But wow, a lot of tense moments right there for both sides as that ball floated inside the 6.
Yeah, and again, we have to mention Kistner's ability to step out and command his box like so. He's very, very aggressive. He makes sure that if anything is in his area and around his responsibilities, he's going to be the one to step up and take care of it.
Yeah, he's done a great job back there through 90 minutes of regulation, now through 9 minutes of overtime as we hit 1 minute left in this first overtime period. And the ball just bouncing around at midfield right now. Lipscomb plays it through to the top of the 18. Kistner just comes and settles. He's going to wait for a minute till Jones comes, puts token pressure on him, and he'll now pick up the ball. 43 seconds left in this first overtime period. Kistner holding on to it, still waiting. Now he decides to send it away. Comes across midfield. As we hit 30 seconds left in this first overtime period, and a foul's going to be called on the Eagles, being a little aggressive. Hitting 20 seconds left. Lipscomb might throw some bodies forward here. And Sibley's going to go ahead and crack this one up towards the top of the 18 and see if they have any late magic in the first overtime. Big right foot by Sibley, trying to find Jones on the far side. The ball goes harmlessly across the end line. So we're hitting the end of overtime number 1, and that was a 10 minutes that felt like a quick 10 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a quick 10 minutes. I thought Lipscomb was the better side in terms of creating opportunities, putting FGCU back on their heels, and Malachi Jones seemed to be the one player that really stuck out to me in that 10-minute period. He was very aggressive and almost got on the end of 2 opportunities there. But again, that opportunity from Hayeswood, he's going to want that one back. It's an uncharacteristic miss, but like you said, he may have rushed it a little bit, but that's what happens when the ball bounces to you in the box. You're just trying to put it on frame, and unfortunately for him, he pulled it wide.
Jaleel, question for you as we have about 1:30 here in this intermission between the start of the second overtime. Tactically, how do you approach this? And I'm going to ask that dual-sided here as Lipscomb, who's the favorite coming into this, and then also Florida Gulf Coast, who, again, we've talked fatigue factor. They played 2 days ago. I don't want to say you're playing for penalty kicks, but how do you approach this if you're both sides? I mean, yes, both teams want a goal, but I would imagine both teams aren't going to be throwing numbers up front because you don't want to expose yourself in the back.
Yeah, I think for Lipscomb, for the home side, they are going to be looking to push the issue. Tactically, they are going to be taking more risks, and because they are, they're fresher than FGCU is. They didn't have to play on Saturday night. They have the momentum, the wind behind their sails, if you will, with the home crowd, and they've had the better opportunities in the first 10-minute period. For FGCU, tactically, what they're going to want to do is to be responsible, make sure that they're defending well in the channels to stifle Malachi Jones, Spicer, and the like, and make sure that if their opportunities come, they're hitting them on the counter.
Well, we're going to see if there's a moment of brilliance in this next 10 minutes, which would send one of these teams to the ASUN championship. Again, that game is going to be on Saturday night against the winner of Central Arkansas and Bellarmine. 10 minutes could decide the winner, or if, again, tied after these next 10 minutes. This is not golden goal. It'd be hard-pressed to think that if one team scores, someone else might counter, but hey, stranger things have happened, and what's been an entertaining game already through the first 100 minutes could add some extra spice if that was the chance here over these final 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. This one has really perplexed us here up in the box all night. You can't call it. You can't say which team is going to come out on the positive end of this one, because both teams have been threatening all night. Both teams have defended well. Both teams have been dangerous on the attack. So these next 10 minutes are going to be something that you definitely don't want to leave the live YouTube stream for.
Well, we're underway with overtime period number 2. This is the final 10-minute stretch here as we're coming live from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex down the far side. Some good legs and good run right there by Florida Gulf Coast, and they were begging for a corner as the ball went across the end line, and Stoica came rushing to it and gave a very confident, he was all over that call. We're going to have a kick coming the other way.
Yeah, we've seen this all night, whether it's Jacumba being sprung in in the channel there, or it's Brown being sprung in on that far left-hand channel. But you see Turner up for the initial play, and then his partner Nick Dang making the play to keep the ball in Lipscomb favor.
Lipscomb now will have a throw, and Louis Robinson throws it in. And now has the ball at his feet, tries to play Lopez. Now trying to push the end line of the Bisons, and is he taken down? He is.
Absolutely, that's definitely a foul there. Senior comes in late on Alan Efty, and I was just getting ready to mention, I think this is the first time all night that we've seen both Alan Efty and Lopez on the pitch at the same time. You have two creators on the field where they can really set up their attacking counterparts and create goals. So the combinations between Lopez and Alan Nefty is something to definitely pay attention to with 8:42 left in this match.
Well, Alan Nefty tried to cut back as he was trying to go towards the end line and was taken down by the Eagle defender. And yeah, easy call there for the center official. Again, we've commented a couple times tonight how quality of a job Soren has done tonight. And yeah, that opportunity right there, pretty easy call, as a lot of the Lipscomb faithful were excited for an opportunity at goal that's just going to be held outside the box at the moment.
Yeah, the right call, obviously, by Stoika. It's a clear foul there. Shandell Sr., he's trying to play Alan Nefty as honest as possible. He tries to make a sliding challenge on the ball, but again, Alan Nefty's ability to elude and evade defenders was just something that wrong-footed Shandell Sr. there. And now we're going to have a free kick in a very dangerous area. You have very, very excellent service from Noah Golden here on this near side, and you have the likes of Hayeswood, Louis Robinson, Spicer, Nick Dang. These are dangerous targets on set pieces.
You got to think, as the Florida Golf defender is being tended to down on the field, you got to think probably looking back post here as far as an opportunity, or is it just throw the ball in the mix there in the middle and see if anyone can get a deflection or a head? Or obviously this is a situation, it's similar to a corner but much more extended out towards closer to the 18.
Yeah, it's tough to say because you're going to have an in-swinger here with Noah Golden with his right foot. He could even go direct on goal and look for a ricochet. You never know. He could clip it to the back post, but the most dangerous type of service would be whipped in hard toward the center of the near post.
4 Bisons more towards the back post, 1 on the front. And here comes Golden, get ready to go over top. The ball, his right foot goes towards the back. Nice job by Kistner, comes off his line with a strong, just controlled the box well and took away any chance of a header on frame.
You know, I just love that from Kistner. He commands his box, he comes out, punches the ball, and that's what your team loves, when you know that your goalkeeper is tenacious and confident coming off his line.
Lipscomb with a big throw in, and ball just bounded in the middle of the box and comes out to middle of the field. Turner now looking to play to the top of the 18, does so.
Very good ball into the pocket there by Turner.
Robinson tried to make a service, couldn't do so as it's knocked down by the Eagles. And back well into the Lipscomb defensive area where Lipscomb now has it and brings it up. Alan Efty again looking for Spicer, doesn't play him. Tries to now play in the middle. Lopez now top of the 18, Spicer side of the 18, left foot chip, back post.
Great ball.
A header down on the far side of the outside of the netting. For a second, ball hit the netting and I couldn't quite tell, but just a good build up there and an opportunity for Spicer going to the back post for an opportunity.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. That is an excellent move up the field by Lipscomb. Flawless there. You see the good defending by the partnership in Nick Dang and Will Turner. They're able to settle the ball. Turner plays a good ball to Alan Efty in the pocket, which springs Spicer out to this left-hand side, and they clip a ball to the back post into Hayeswood. Unfortunate for Lipscomb that it doesn't find the back of the net, but that's a very, very successful move up the field by Lipscomb.
Well, interesting call on your point at our intermission break there about what would be the tactical opportunity or adjustment, or how would you approach these last 10 minutes where you want to be aggressive, but you also want to be smart, and you don't want to be tentative, caught on your heels. And thus far, Lipscomb has certainly been the attacking team that has kind of said, you know what, we have nothing to lose, let's go after it, and had some quality looks on frame thus far.
And they're naturally going to be the aggressor because, like we spoke about, they're the home team, one, they're less fatigued. You see here FGCU is having to attend to one of their players down. I can't quite make out exactly who it is. Looks like Jacumba. Yeah, Jacumba's down there. He's getting stretched out by Abdul Kuku and Davi Alves here. So fatigue is definitely a factor, and that is something that plays into the advantage of Lipscomb. But FGCU has done an absolutely great job to manage this whole situation. They're not throwing too many numbers forward, but they've still been decent in their build-up in terms of keeping the ball when they get it, and they're still tenaciously defending.
So just over 7 minutes left in the second overtime period, as Florida Gulf Coast will send the ball in now. down this near sideline, trying to see if they can create an opportunity towards frame. Little right-footed flick towards the top of the 18 comes away harmlessly, and the Bison's defense clears it from the back. Now up to the midfield area. Lipscomb, Will Turner puts it up towards midfield. Lipscomb's now going to control on the ground a little bit. Well done. Robinson looks on this near side for Spicer. Looks to go back to Robinson, and the ball's deflected out of bounds as they looked for a little give and go opportunity there. Throwing all the way into the middle of the field, Nauman. Nauman swings to the far side. Golden back to Nauman. Nauman trying to find some space, looks at the top of the 18 for Lopez. Couldn't quite catch him on a run. Just a good look, good build up, just not quite the connection on the last piece of that.
Yeah, it's a good idea there by Nauman. He's able to skate past the defender there, and he was trying to slip in Lopez, but it didn't quite come off, but the idea was correct.
So 6 minutes now left in what will be the last 6 minutes of this overtime period. And you could probably hear it picking up through the mic. Lipscomb fans wanted a foul called near midfield, and they got it from Stoika. So now resetting play, Lipscomb on the far side, seeing if they can have an opportunity here, and they're going to be out near the far corner. The pause here for a second was, I thought Lipscomb might have had an opportunity for an advantage play on, and Stoika's bringing it back. Where there was an initial foul behind the play.
Yeah, Stoika could have let that play go because Allen FD was able to pick the ball up on the far corner there, but I think he may have seen a potential injury for Hayeswood, so he stopped the play, gave the yellow card, and made sure that FGCU goes in the book there.
So now resetting with 5:42 left, second overtime period, 0-0. And Lipscomb's going to send attempt to send a ball across, but blocked by the two-man wall and just goes out of bounds. Bison's now looking for a throw-in, seeing if they can create some motion and create an opportunity here. And just as I say that, just a repeat, ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Eagles. So just again, Lipscomb's going to have a throw-in. Ball comes into play near the end line. It goes deflected. That's a really nice play there by, couldn't quite tell who did it by Lipscomb, but to just see a read. I don't know if that was Dahlman.
That seemed to be Hayeswood on the far side. Yeah, to just shield the ball out of bounds.
So corner attempt, quick corner gets played in, and again, just true to form. Nice job just coming offline. Kistner taking everything in control. Yeah,
he's made it pretty obvious tonight that in order to beat FGCU, you have to get around Kistner. Obviously, he's the goalkeeper, but not as many goalkeepers are going to be as aggressive as him.
On the far side now, Florida Gulf Coast looking for a dangerous run, and didn't have numbers but had speed, had potential, and it was knocked out of bounds on the far side by the Bisons, and we're going to have a throw-in.
Yeah, that's good defending there by McAleen, and he does what he needs to do to make sure that attack is stifled for the moment, and Lipscomb lives to die another day, if you will.
So heading down to about 4:15 left here, and Stoika's going to hold the clock. Not sure if we had a substitution or if there was a potential injury. We do have a new player coming on for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, it looks like Davi Alves steps off. He's probably tired. They're heavy legs out there, like we've been speaking about all night.
Now an opportunity from a far swing, and Spicer trying to control it at the top of the 18 does so. Gives it out to Lopez, who plays on the far side. Alan Efty lays it off successfully, trying to bring it back in towards the middle of the pitch to Lopez, but he can't control it, and it gets knocked well downfield, back towards the defensive third, and really some good pressure right there by Florida Gulf Coast, forced him to kick it out of bounds. But I guess on the near side, the official must have called an offside position that maybe Florida Gulf Coast didn't get back in, or I don't know if he saw something that we didn't see up here.
Yeah, it looked like the flag just came up late for offsides. Nick Dang had to cover in that far channel. Did what he needed to do, but it's better for Lipscomb that was called offsides because they are able to keep possession. FGCU may be a little frustrated about that late call, though.
So at the top, about 30 yards from net right now, Spicer tried to take things through a little too much foot traffic and lost control, but Lipscomb still does have it right now back across their midfield side. And now Lipscomb trying to make a big runner to Spicer, but that was a little bit, maybe a little bit wishful, hopeful thinking there.
Yeah, Nick Dang tried to play a diagonal ball into Spicer over the top. The ball was a little bit too flat in the end, and easy pickup by Kistner. I like the idea, but you know, for me, Lipscomb has been more creative in their build-up throughout the course of the match. So I'd like to see them stick to that.
Under 3 minutes left now, second overtime period. Spicer on the ball, and two defenders really close to him, and trying to see if we have an overlapping run. We do. Robinson now gives it back towards Alan Efty. Alan Efty with a right-footed chip. Can't quite find a Bison now at the top of the 18.
And a goal!
Wow, good gracious. What an effort right there by Nauman. Alan Efty just put it kind of a right footer that wasn't necessarily too dangerous, and it just got headed up. And Nauman, there's a situation in this spot, Jaleel, of right man, right spot, who read an opportunity. The ball didn't. What Florida Gulf Coast has done well tonight, I think, all night is cleared things from the back, and they didn't really clear it. They just kind of headed it back, and Nauman stepped into space where there was open space and no one really closed on the ball. Nauman from the 18 just came and put it home.
Yeah, FGCU has been good all night in clearing their lines. They weren't able to quite get the ball past the midfield of Lipscomb. Luka Nauman jumps on it and hits an absolute rocket into the near post, low, hard. That is the type of finish that you love to see. The fans are going in a frenzy, and that's what they've been waiting for all night. Congratulations to the goal scorer.
It caught me off guard just because I thought, as well organized that they'd been in the back, that it wasn't going to be dangerous. And Nauman, smart, didn't give up on the ball and just continued running through it and found a chance at his foot, and he buried it.
Yeah, those second opportunities are always dangerous top box and very difficult to defend, because naturally when service goes into the box, the whole defense has to drop in. And Nauman made him pay. He was lurking around the top box and opportunistically took his chance, and he, up to this point, unless something changes, he's the hero.
So 1:50 left in the second overtime. We'll play this thing out the next 110 seconds as Florida Gulf Coast is going to push all numbers forward and see if they can get something. And crack from about 25 out, forces a big-time save by Sibley.
That's a very great save by Sibley. If he doesn't make that, that's going into the far post. And like we've been speaking about all night, this game is so competitive that even in the last 2 minutes, it's still exciting. Florida Gulf Coast is pushing for that late equalizer, but Lipscomb just does not want to give it to him.
So one on the corner, 8 in the box, another at the top of the 18. Left-footed swinger goes to the back post, and a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, and Stoika is going to call a foul. It looks like unfortunately, looks like about 3 players came together and probably knocked heads, because Sibley is down for the Bisons, as well as 2 players for Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, and that looked like a tough collision there. Like you said, 3 bodies down. The service there by Alondre. He just has been looking all night to just whip that in towards Sibley's goal. Sibley comes out in an aggressive manner. But like you said, 3 guys down, and hopefully they're all okay.
You figure in a spot like that, everyone's going to be throwing bodies towards goal, heads towards goal, whatever they can get, trying to get a piece on. And unfortunately, a couple players came together at that moment.
Absolutely. When everybody is throwing caution to the wind, people are just throwing limbs, legs, trying to get on the end of those types of whipping services, and it can be melees in the box, and that's what we saw there. Brave play from both sides, but Sibley ends up having a free kick going in the other direction, and that's definitely going to be something that will allow Lipscomb to breathe a second here. But this last minute is going to be crazy.
So minute 12 left as Sibley now clears the ball well out across midfield. Stoika's going to hold play. Sibley might have brought that actually in play before Stoika was ready for it. So going to have a reset here. And Sibley's going to get round 2 of clearing the ball out towards midfield. And now the center official says, okay, now you can bring it across and we'll be ready to go. Senior takes his big right foot and does the same. Clears it well across midfield. Lipscomb is just going to try to see if they can clear the ball. And Lipscomb clears it out of play, and there's going to be a yellow card given to Florida Gulf Coast on just a hard push coming in on the backside there as as Will Turner was trying to clear the ball out.
Yeah, and again, that's a correct call by Stoika. That can be a very dangerous situation when a player's trying to play the ball upfield. He's defenseless while he's trying to play the ball upfield. Will Turner there. So I think the right call and a proper yellow card given.
1 minute left here in the second overtime as Sibley clears it well across midfield. Lipscomb plays the ball. It's going to go across the end line. So here comes Florida Gulf Coast. 45 seconds, about 45 seconds left. And they're going to.
Kistner's just going to launch this, and everybody's going to try to get as far forward as possible.
Everyone's going to be going up. In front of the Florida Gulf Coast bench, no one has possession at the moment as the ball's topped around. Here comes Florida Gulf Coast at the top of the 18. For a second, might have someone through. Nice job by Lipscomb clearing on the far side. We're down under 30. Here comes a throw on the far side. Florida Gulf Coast again throwing all bodies front. They need some miracle in the last minute. And a throw-in goes harmlessly across the end line, and that might do it. Stoika's going to want Lipscomb to bring the ball in play pretty quick, but a throw-in that just kind of trickled across the end line, it didn't cause too much harm. So Sibley's going to get ready to kick it, 5 on the clock, and that's going to do it as it comes across midfield. And the Lipscomb fans celebrate with an unbelievable match here that finishes 1-0, but really a thriller match between two quality, even played, even match teams as this one rounds out.
Yeah, there was not much in between these teams. It was competitive for the entire match, all of regulation, all of overtime until about the last 2 minutes. Luka Nauman said, nah, we aren't going to penalty kicks. I'm going to take this exactly where I want it to go, and that is in the favor of Lipscomb.
Luka Nauman, the junior from Berlin, Germany, is the hero tonight. Talk about two other heroes. I think you can say too much about Sibley, the job he did in the back, and of course the goalkeeper too. Wyatt Kistner was just phenomenal for Florida Gulf Coast. Taking any opportunities that Lipscomb had. And, goodness, maybe just some tremendous defense opportunities between the pipes. The goalkeepers tonight were just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many players to highlight in tonight's match. But at the end of the day, it's all about the goal scorer, Luka Nauman. You have to congratulate FGCU on a successful season up to this point in time. But it's Lipscomb moving on to the ASUN Conference Championship, and they'll be hosting it here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex.
So that's the final tonight. Lipscomb moves to 13-2-2, a little bit of a revenge for the Bisons, as we talked about. Their only conference loss was the hands of these Eagles with the identical 1-0 score just a few weeks ago. And Lipscomb will be hosting the ASUN Conference Championship. That'll come here this Saturday night. About 5 days from now, Saturday night here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. And Jaleel, privileged to call this one with you tonight. And wow, saw just some quality efforts tonight on the field, and that was fun to be up here and have a chance to watch.
Yeah, likewise to you, good sir. It's been an awesome night of football, and just a lot of excitement in the air here in Nashville. The home fans are fired up, and everybody that's part of the Lipscomb faithful is going to be sent home with smiles.
Well, your final from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Lipscomb 1, Florida Gulf Coast 0 in double overtime. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Take care. Have a great night.